Among the many tributes that will come in for the former president, I suspect it's most fitting that he is honored at a football game. He was, after all, a member of 2 Big Ten and national championship teams at Michigan, and was, in fact, the MVP of the Wolverines back in 1934. The former president, as we noted, his body will lay in state in Capitol Rotunda for public viewing for the next 3 days before it is flown to its final destination, his home in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we understand he will be buried on a hilltop overlooking the grounds of the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Library. God rest his soul. We're getting set for a football game. Chris Collinsworth has joined me up here in the booth, and Chris, the Giants making their entrance onto the field with an awful lot on the line tonight.
Yeah, they really are, and a few more Giants fans here than I thought were going to be. I guess not that far of a drive down, and for Tiki Barber, what could be his final appearance in a Giants uniform.
Could be his final appearance in a Giant uniform, could be Tom Coughlin's final appearance on a Giant sideline, could be the end of the Giants season, unless they can come up with a win tonight. There's a look at the wild card contenders, the gang of 5, we like to call them. We'll try to sort these out as the evening goes along.
Yeah, but a lot of really interested teams out there, and who would have believed that the Green Bay Packers and Brett Favre could have found a way back into this race. But should the Giants lose this one, the Green Bay Packers are in a great spot if they could pull off the upset and beat the Chicago Bears tomorrow night.
The outcome of this one could make 4 games that are on tap tomorrow either vitally important or pretty irrelevant. And the team will have a lot to say about that. The Washington Redskins, they're coming on the field looking to deny the Giants their chance. It's the Giants and the Redskins. The kickoff is coming up.
Total Access on Location is brought to you by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite, good call. Microsoft, software for the people-ready business. GMC, engineered to the highest standard, professional grade. This NFL Network game in high definition is brought to you by Best Buy.
Giving the new Sierra more power doesn't make it professional grade. Giving it more power while making it more fuel efficient does. Introducing the all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. The only pickup that offers more than 300 horsepower and over 20 EPA estimated highway miles per gallon. That's professional grade.
You think you got game, machine? All right, let's see what you got. Come on, breathe. Come on, breathe. Pick him up, pick him up.
Live NFL. Drink Diet Pepsi.
I can do this all day, baby.
No, I understand, sir. The problem is I don't have access to your records.
Boy, okay. That's a really great question. I don't have the answer with me.
No, you need to do that in person. It's on a different system.
You sure you're a customer?
It's not the 6500.
Nope.
But I ordered the 6500.
Yeah, that's not what this says.
What can people do with the right software?
Yes, ma'am. I've got all of your records in front of me. I can take care of it from here.
For starters, keep the customer happy.
Want football 24/7? NFL Network's got you covered. NFL Game Day, Sunday night's best NFL highlight show. NFL Total Access, complete coverage of all 32 teams. That's all season long.
Welcome to the following presentation of the National Football League on NFL Network.
We're at FedEx Field just outside the nation's capital, where the NFL campaign that began 5 long months ago has matched the New York Giants and Washington Redskins in their final game of the regular season. At 5-10, the Redskins' year will end tonight. But for the Giants, there's much at stake. Despite losing 6 of their last 7, a win this evening would all but assure them a berth in the postseason playoffs, a date their longtime rivals would dearly love to deny them.
Bitter rivals.
The Giants have won in overtime, and they come on the field in Bob Manning.
long history.
That's Redskins football. Take that.
This rivalry goes on 20 years ago. Giants, Redskins. It just sounds menacing.
Tiki Barber breaks 4 tackles. He goes in from 41 yards out.
Given the stakes this year, it's even more so.
All the way, Santana Moss, his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Same motivation to win.
Each game means something, each meeting means something, each play means something. We ain't giving up just because we don't have nowhere to go. We still have a game left, and we still gonna give you our all. Either you win these games or you're going home and you're watching everybody else.
We have a job to do, so we still go out there, we play hard, and we try to get the W.
Touchdown Betts, his 2nd score of the game.
And then we just go ahead and continue to build for next season.
They may be building for the future. We're playing for the now. There is no better and worse feeling than trying to get to the playoffs with our backs against the wall, with everything on the line and everything right in front of us.
We're playing for our pride, and it's letting it be known that, you know, as bad as we look this year, we're not the team that you think that we are.
You don't have to look at the stats or the numbers or anything. It's Washington, it's Giants. This is what it's all about.
Just 8 weeks ago, the New York Giants were rolling. Winners of 5 straight, they seemed assured of a postseason berth. But injuries, infighting, and poor play have taken their toll and left the Giants with just one last chance for a win. One last chance to make the playoffs and extend their season beyond this final Saturday of 2006. Good evening, and welcome to Primetime Football on NFL Network. I'm Bryant Gumbel, pleased to be alongside Chris Collinsworth for what we think is going to be a great ball game.
Yeah, really, the game of the weekend when you stop and think about it.
And one that has no shortage of storylines. This could be Tiki Barber's last game of his career. This could be Tom Coughlin's last game as Giants coach. The Giants could make their way into the playoffs, but all of that hinges on Eli Manning.
Yeah, it really does. And for Eli Manning, you know, there's tough, and then there's New York tough. And Eli Manning tonight needs to be New York tough because he has every excuse. They've changed offensive coordinators. His offensive line's been reshuffled. His receivers are gone. But every once in a while, the quarterback has to step up and make plays and carry his football team. We've seen Eli Manning do it on occasion. You think back to the first Philadelphia game this year, but we haven't seen it on a consistent basis, and tonight should be his night.
You alluded to the big headline out of New York this week. Offensive coordinator John Hufnagel is out. Quarterback coach Kevin Gilbride is in. Desperate move, Hufnagel the scapegoat?
Of course. Yeah, there's no question about it. But if it results in Tiki Barber becoming a bigger part of this offense, then it will have been a good move. So far over the past few weeks, this offense has run through Eli Manning. It really needs to get back to the focal point, and that is Tiki Barber. Now, I'm not necessarily, you don't have to give him the ball and let him run it every down. Throw him the football, let him run it, let him make the plays to get this offense jump-started.
Unless you think the Redskins have nothing to play for. They've been out of it for 3 weeks, but they lost by 2 to Philadelphia. They went in New Orleans and beat the Saints. They lost in overtime just last week in St. Louis. They would love to beat the Giants tonight.
Oh, there's just no question about it. You're talking about a division rival, and the number one thing the Washington Redskins would love to do is to send the Giants home with their tail tucked between their legs.
This game on NFL Network is being brought to you tonight in lovely, glorious, enlightening high definition. Washington has won the toss. They will receive. So Jay Feely will get us underway. Is this the Giants' last game of their season? We'll know in about 3 hours. This is Rock Cartwright at his own 3. Cartwright moves it up to about the 26, and that's from where Jason Campbell will lead his offense onto the field. Campbell starts at quarterback, second-year man out of Auburn. This is just his 7th start. The Skins see him as their quarterback of the future. Filling in for Clinton Portis, Liddell Betts has over 1,000 yards this year and has rushed for over 100 in each of his last 5 games. Santana Moss is their deep threat. Tackle Chris Samuels, the star of the offensive line. He's heading to his 4th straight Pro Bowl. The other tackle, John Jansen, has been a Washington mainstay for 7 years. From the 27, Betts gets his first carry of the night. gets it to the 28, gives us an opportunity to set the Giants' defense. With Michael Strahan out, the Giants will start rookie Matthias Kiwanuka opposite Osi Umenyiora at defensive end. The linebackers, they're a veteran group. Carlos Emmons and Brandon Short flank ex-Redskin Antonio Pierce, who starts in the middle. R.W. McQuarters, Jabril Wilson, Will Demps, Sam Madison make up a well-seasoned secondary, but one that has been pretty porous this year. Betts with a gain of 1 on the last play, gets it again, fights his way to the 30. Before Brandon Short being credited with the stop.
Yeah, and really a pretty good start here for the New York Giants. There's no question that the Washington Redskins want to come out and test the toughness of the New York Giants. The Redskins, since the quarterback change to Jason Campbell, have been a run, pass football team. And now to start this game, you start off with a 3rd and 8 for this Giants defense. Pretty good start.
Antoine Randall goes wide to the top of your screen. He's playing tonight because Brandon Lloyd was a late scratch with bronchitis. Campbell will throw to Mike Sellers. First down, Redskins. Sellers, their big fullback. 7-year man out of Walla Walla.
Well, first of all, Chris Samuels is going to come up with a big block on the blitzer inside. And when the blitzer comes up the middle, that's going to leave a void in the defense, and Sellers found the spot. But more importantly, Jason Campbell found him.
That was Short that Samuels picked off, allowing the Redskins keep this drive alive. Campbell with time. Flush this side, completes it to Betts, and Betts pushed out of bounds at the 46.
One of the things the Redskins like to do offensively is keep people in to protect their young quarterback. They don't want him seeing a constant variety of blitzes. Unfortunately, what that does, it means that you only get a couple of people out in the pass pattern. That time, a 2-man route by the Redskins. So once Santana Moss was covered, there really was no place else for Jason Campbell to go with the ball.
For the first time tonight, the Skins go 4 wide. That's Patton in motion. Betts gets it. First down, Redskins as he crosses midfield. R.W. McQuarters coming up to make the stop. This Giant defense, too, has been a different defense throughout these last 7 games when they've had their problems.
Yeah, they really have been, and they have some weaknesses. There's no question about it, as the Redskins pick up the first down there. And probably their greatest weakness is in their secondary. They just don't have a lot of speed anywhere in that secondary, so they're basically forced into zone coverages at all time, which really limits the amount of pressure that you can bring on the offense.
Betts has come to the sidelines, and T.J. Duckett, the ex-Falcon, has checked into the ball game. Duckett will get it. Gets just barely back to the line of scrimmage before Will Demps comes up from the secondary to make the stop.
And Will Demps, a guy that has come over and tried to fill some big shoes at the safety position, walking up in the hole. And the New York Giants defensively have decided they're going to do whatever it takes to put the ball in Jason Campbell's hands. They are not going to let the running game of the Washington Redskins beat them. If he can beat them one-on-one pass routes down the field, so be it.
As you saw, that's Liddell Betts remaining on the sidelines. Campbell under a strong rush. Osi Umenyiora has him, let him go. Campbell, first down, Skins.
Boy, did that remind you of anything?
The Kiwanuka would-be sack on Vince Young.
It really did. And Osi Umenyiora now is going to have something to talk about with Matthias Kiwanuka working against Chris Samuels. Makes a great move, gets to the inside and just has him dead to rights. Has his jersey, but Chris Samuels stayed after him long enough to just give a little separation. And there you see the strength of Jason Campbell able to get out.
6'4", 230. He's no small quarterback. The Skins, with their first foray into Giants territory, turned a 10-yard loss into a 12-yard gain. This is Betts for perhaps a gain of 1. This was the would-be sack that you were alluding to in Week 12. When Matthias Kiwanuka had Vince Young and let him go.
Yeah, and there's so many rules out there to protect the quarterback. You have to feel a little bit for Kiwanuka, but if the Giants had held on to that sack and held on to that game, we're sitting here in basically a meaningless game. The Giants have already clinched their playoff spot. It's amazing when you look back on a season and one play can mean so much.
Another woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
Campbell with good time, completing this one to Moss. Another first down for the Redskins, down to the 23. Good opening drive by Campbell and company.
Yeah, it really is. And for Santana Moss, he's been battling hamstring injuries almost throughout the entire season, but he is clearly one of the top receivers in the game. We were talking with Sam Madison of the Giants, and he said there is no question this guy is one of the top 5 receivers in the game today.
Santana's baby brother is on the opposite sideline, Sonoris Moss.
He's not as good as Santana, though.
Not yet. We expect to see him a little bit later. Campbell throws this side. That's Chris Cooley with his first catch of the night. He's their leading receiver in terms of receptions and a fan favorite here. They call him Captain Chaos.
And Jason Campbell's favorite receiver, and you see why. It's the yards after the catch. Among all the tight ends in the NFL, and certainly there's some great ones, nobody has more yards after the catch than Chris Cooley, and there it is. He just makes people miss in the open field.
Campbell has completed his first 4 throws of the night.
His hairstyle's changed a little over the years, though.
Cooley, you mean?
Yeah.
This is Betts. Ball comes free. This is Fred Robbins. Fred Robbins. Campbell's got an angle. From behind, James Thrash caught him, brought him down at the 10-yard line.
And for Liddell Betts, it's deja vu all over again, as Yogi would say. His big fumble at the end of the game last week cost the Redskins, and now turns around, puts it on the ground. I think that's Brandon Short who got the hit. Just an absolutely clean hit, helmet on the ball. And then the big guy did a little rumbling.
Accented a little.
Chugging, baby. I mean, he's chugging for all he's worth.
The piano jumped on his back at about the 30.
He's saying, you know, he's thinking, somebody please tackle me. I'm about to die here. James Thrash finally did him a favor.
At 3:17, he was moving it as best he could. Eli Manning and the Giants offense with great field position at the 13. Tiki Barber fighting his way up past the 10.
Big time hit that time by Brandon Short to give this team a break. Boy, it looked like the Redskins were just going to march it right down the field and score on the opening drive, and all the momentum on their side, and just one big play by Brandon Short turned everything around. Now the Giants have to take advantage.
They have not been great in the red zone, particularly over the last 7 weeks. Manning with time dumped. Well, that's a bit of a happening because that's something the Redskins don't do very much. They have the fewest sacks in the league, but they got to Manning.
Although for Andre Carter, he has been playing better than anybody on this Redskins defense. And up front, David Deal, if you're a Giants fan, you recognize him as a guard, and he blocked like a guard that time. He's been moved out there. They moved Bob Whitfield out after a couple of headbutts and some other problems, and Deal gets beat on the first big play.
Has left Manning with a 3rd and long. Swings it wide for Plaxico Burress, incomplete. Carlos Rogers on the coverage. And that series kind of typified what the Giants offense has been like the past 7 weeks.
Well, let me just say this. Until Eli Manning finds a way to beat pressure defenses, he is going to continue to see him. Everyone knows now that the way to beat the Giants, the way to beat Eli Manning is to bring pressure, and once again, the Giants fail in that situation.
And so Jay Feely has come on for a 34-yard field goal attempt, which is good. And so we're just about 8 minutes into this ball game. Following a turnover, the Giants get on the board first. They lead it 3-0.
With more power, more capability, and the most fuel efficiency. The only way to improve the new Sierra is to back it with one of the best warranties in the business. Introducing the all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. We examined everything, then stood behind it with the GM 100,000-mile warranty. That's professional grade.
From the director of Hero and House of Flying Daggers. Chow Yun-Fat, Gong Li, Curse of the Golden Flower, rated R. Now playing select cities. Opens in theaters everywhere January 12th.
Double beef fiesta salsa, so good.
Delicious, huh? And these grilled stuffed burritos are only $1.99.
All this flavor for only $1.99? No way.
Like how he told us he's going out on a date with Carmen Electra.
We're just going bowling.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Hi, Pete. Do you like my dress?
That'll do.
It's true. Taco Bell's big, tasty grilled stuffed burrito with double the beef, 3 cheeses, and grilled to go to get unbelievable taste for an unbelievable price.
How's she gonna bowl in that?
Think outside the bun.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by GMC, engineered to the highest standard, professional grade. Sony Pictures Classics, Curse of the Golden Flower, opens everywhere January 12th. Taco Bell, think outside the bun.
Following a 67-yard fumble return by Fred Robbins, Giants took the ball in good field position, but could do nothing with 3 downs. You think Fred's back yet?
He's still trying to catch his breath over there.
And so Jay Feely, who kicked a 34-yard field goal for the first points of the game, will kick off for the second time tonight. Brock Cartwright being driven back in his own end zone. He'll take a knee. We'll take a break as Campbell and the Redskins offense come back on the field. Liddell Betts, there's the turnover that has us in a 3-0 ball game in Washington.
At the World Beer Cup, over 2,000 beers are judged from 540 breweries in 56 countries. And in 2006, one of those beers won gold for Best American Style Light Lager for the 4th time. In fact, Miller Lite's won more awards at the World Beer Cup than any other light beer. For award-winning taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite, good call.
Hey, Bob, this NFL Network preview thing still going next week?
Nah, ends tonight.
How do we not get this channel? You get 15 shopping channels, and I can't get the NFL Network during the playoffs.
I really wanted to see that America's Game thing on the '68 Jets.
It's supposed to be one of the best things NFL Films has ever done.
Yeah, well, you can't see it. You go over to one of those shopping networks, I bet you can get a sweater with Weeb Eubank's face on it.
NFL fans, it's time to make the call. Let your cable operator know you want NFL Network.
Our engineers saw every square inch of the Sierra as an opportunity for another breakthrough. Introducing the more comfortable, more powerful, and the most fuel-efficient all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. We examined everything and overlooked nothing to create our greatest pickup yet. That's professional grade.
Set Giants Camp for launch. Launching Giants Camp. "32 team camps, only on NFL Network."
We're back at FedEx Field in Washington, where the Giants are leading the Redskins 3-0 following a fumble by Liddell Betts. This is a play 3 plays before the fumble. Betts came off the field, took himself out of the ballgame following this, came off shaking his arm, went back in and was hit on that arm by Brandon Short, coughed the ball up, Fred Robbins returned it. Since then, Betts has gone to the sidelines and donned a sleeve on that right arm. Not sure what all that means, but
we'll find out.
He'll get this carry. And he gets close to the first down marker, brought down at the 29. Will Demps coming up to hit him.
That was what you call an angry run right there, and just a little padding in that sleeve. It also, the rubber will make your arms sweat a little bit more, but watch him just run right through Jabril Wilson here, who didn't make much of an effort to get him down on that play, but he sure had it covered up the next time. The last time when he fumbled, he put 2 hands on it, but it was just loosely on the ball. And 2 fumbles in such a short period of time between the 2 games. He has to be thinking about it now.
Mike Sellers, the lone back. He'll get the first down as he crosses the 30. You think we have some interested spectators among the rosters of the Green Bay Packers, Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons, and St. Louis Rams?
We sure do. The Gang of 5 is clearly interested in this one. There are a lot of scenarios. Let me give it to you as simply as I can. If the New York Giants win, they're going to be the 6th seed. They're going to make the playoffs.
There is a mathematical chance they could be eliminated on strength of schedule, but that's not going to happen.
Right, and then sort of in that order, the order that we think has the best chance after that, with the Green Bay Packers being next in line.
And you're going to break all of them down. This is Campbell throwing long. A lot of contact, no flag. He was going for Antoine Randall. Sam Madison was there, and you see Randall copping a plea.
And what Antoine Randall is saying at the end of this play, he knocked my hands away from the ball, and you could see a little bit of a hook of the arm in there by Sam Madison, but a little bit of that was Antoine Randall fighting back, and they were just sort of arm fighting. I thought that was a good no call by the officials. And
you're a receiver.
Well, of course, yeah. But for Sam Madison, he just happened to be playing a little man coverage again. He's so sick of these zones that the Giants play.
This is Betts finding running room inside, getting to midfield and into Giant territory before being brought down in the arms of Jabril Wilson.
And right up the gut, one of the problems that the Giants have been having defensively is as teams begin to spread them out. You can see Randall in the backfield, Chris Cooley split out, is that they get pretty small in there, and they just don't stand up the way that they can, because you can't bring the safeties down. You have to spread out your outside linebackers, and teams have been gouging them with this strategy now for about a month.
Give Betts 21 yards on that pickup. This is Randall looking to throw. Got Moss open. Touchdown, Redskins. Yards on the option play, and this isn't Randall's best throw. This one was up there a long time.
You know what? He threw this thing about 55 yards under pressure from Matthias Kiwanuka, but check out the play on the other end by Moss. He just came in and simply stole the ball from Sam Madison. The difference in the great receivers in this game is the play that they make on the ball when it's in the air. That time Moss just wanted it a little bit more.
No wonder he's in Madison's top 5. Sean Swayzem adds the extra point, and the Redskins have moved out in front as we've moved inside the 5-minute mark of the first period. It's the Redskins 7 and the Giants 3.
Presenting Blue from American Express. The card with no annual fee and an introductory rate of 0% for up to 15 months with a low APR after. Call 1-800-600-BLUE. or visit us online to get yours. You can pay over time, which makes this card remarkably flexible. It has a free rewards program with so many choices, it'll make your head spin. Plus, it has a fraud detection system which gives you extra security when you shop. All this with an introductory rate of 0% for up to 15 months and a low APR after. Call 1-800-600-BLUE or visit us online to apply. Blue from American Express.
Look around and what do you see? Let's fall in love. Open your eyes and what will you find? Look around and what do you see?
You know the only place I can see the NFL Network now? My wife's parents' house.
Ouch. That's rough.
Thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, all at the same time.
NFL fans, it's time to make the call. Let your cable operator know you want NFL Network.
Back in Washington, where FedEx Field has been electrified following a 5-play, 80-yard drive completed with a 48-yard pass from Anton Randall L. to Santana Moss.
Yeah, and it wasn't the prettiest pass in the world coming down, but Santana Moss just undercut Madison on the play, and Madison, by going for the interception, instead of trying to get his hands up and knocking down the ball, he had his hands held underneath and allowed Moss to come in front of him and pick it off.
This is Santana's baby brother, Sonoris, who's been pressed into service, trying to get a handle on it there. Inside his 5, he'll get back to the 12. We've got our first flag of the night.
I told you he wasn't as good as his brother.
That's harsh.
I know.
He's been pressed in.
Holding number 48, receiving team. After this, it's to the goal. Be first down. Timeout.
Moss pressed into service because Chad Morton has a busted knee, one of many Giants in the injured list. They're trailing 7-3. We'll be back.
Nice work on these grilled stuffed Fritos, Pete.
Yeah, double beef fiesta salsa, delicious.
Super delicious. And only $1.99.
Only $1.99. This from the guy who claims he dated Carmen Electra.
And dumped Carmen Electra.
A liar.
I miss you. I miss us. Take me back. I love you.
It's true. Taco Bell's big, tasty grilled stuffed burrito with double the beef, 3 cheeses, and grilled to go.
I mean, seriously.
To get unbelievable taste for an unbelievable price, think outside the bun.
Over 5 tons of towing capacity. 2,010 pounds of payload. It seems in thinking ahead, our engineers left nothing behind. Introducing the more comfortable, more powerful, more capable, all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. We examined everything and overlooked nothing, then backed it with a GM 100,000-mile warranty. That's professional grade.
Don't forget about us, Stevie.
With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
Sirius Satellite Radio, the best radio on radio. Hear every NFL game, every week, everywhere. Plus the Sirius NFL radio channel.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. Motorola, proud sponsor of the National Football League.
The New York Giants began their first offensive possession with great field position following the turnover. Their second begins with awful field position. They're backed up their own 6-yard line. Tiki Barber trying to find some room, gets his way back to the 10-yard line before Kedrick Colston brings him down. Let's set the Giants offense for you. Eli Manning, in his 3rd year now, remains a pretty inconsistent work in progress, thrown 18 interceptions to go along with his 23 touchdowns. As we've noted, Tiki Barber starts in what could be the final game of his 10-year career. Asante Shenko starts at tight end. Jeremy Shockey is out with an ankle injury. Up front, David Deal slides over to left tackle, and Gray Rugemer gets a start at Deal's guard spot. O'Hara, Snee, and McKenzie round out the offensive line. Barber again runs into his own blocker, bounces off, and gets back to about the 14-yard line. Philip Daniels with the stop there. Let's set that Washington defense. Their front 4 features Andre Carter at one end and Philip Daniels the other. They're the 2 pressure guys up front. The outside linebackers tonight are Warwick Holdman and Rocky McIntosh. Lamar Marshall in the middle leads the team in tackles. Kenny Wright's in for the injured Sean Springs at one corner. Vernon Fox, coming off a monster game, starts at free safety beside Sean Taylor, who's the enforcer of this Washington defense. The Giants, here's a number for you, 0 for their last 16 on 3rd down. We've got a flag down and a signal for the Giants timeout.
I think it was a
Which
great
came
job
first?
by Tiki Barber. He called timeout in the backfield.
Prior to the delay, this is the first charge timeout, New York.
Yeah, Eli Manning did not see the play clock running down. Tiki saw it and called the timeout. Good play by Tiki.
I really had a great time tonight.
You look fantastic.
You really look fantastic.
Thank you.
I hope we can do it again sometime soon.
I hope we can do it again sometime soon.
I'd love that.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No, no.
On the field or in life, Motorola innovations change the game.
You're killing us.
Motorola, game-changing innovations. And now get Moto's latest game changer, the Moto Crazer, at Sprint.
You don't have to be big to have a big idea, but you might need just a little help pulling it off.
Hi, honey. The holidays were great, but we're still going to need a few things, so if you could stop by Radio Shack and get some batteries, that would be just great. Okay, yeah, 1 second, sir. Also, for the iPod, we're going to need iTrip, and we're also going to need some of those really cute little speakers. Ask the salesman, he'll know which ones. Oh, and hey, for the digital camera, we're going to need an additional memory card and some photo paper. Oh, and yeah, for your wireless phone, get a charger and some headset, and what are those little things you can clip to your belt? And some...
All the stuff you need to go with all the stuff you got, only at Radio Shack.
The countdown continues.
We were actually fighting for the #1 job. Well, I told Coach Landry, if you don't have the confidence in me, you need to think about having me go somewhere else.
America's game.
While we were away, Greg Williams of the Redskins had a bit of an argument saying that Tiki Barber did not call this before the play clock expired. Does he have a case?
Well, he does. It did come afterwards, but there is a built-in delay. The officials have to see the clock hit 0 and then look up to see if the ball snaps. So there is, in essence, another second on that clock, and that time it benefited the Giants.
Barber will get the first down and find some running room off the right side, crossing the 40, close to midfield before being brought down following the block of Vicente Shenko on the right side.
What a run that time by Tiki Barber. This hole closes up in a hurry, and watch him jump right. There's the double team. He bounces it to the outside, and now the acceleration to turn it into a big play. That's why so many people simply can't believe that Tiki Barber is going to run off into television land. I still can't figure that one out.
What do you say? He's got an announcement coming up, what, Monday?
I guess.
32-yard carry for Barber. Manning will throw this time for Tim Carter, in and out of his hands. This Sunday night, Steve Mariucci and Deion Sanders join host Rich Eisen, give you the complete playoff picture, who's in, who's out. Spend New Year's Eve watching NFL Game Day, 11:30 Eastern, only on NFL Network. How are you going to spend New Year's Eve, by the way?
Studying football, like I always do.
Poor Holly.
Oh, no. She loves it, though. She loves football.
She has to.
Yep.
Tiki will get it again, but this time he's dropped in the backfield. Rocky McIntosh coming in from his outside linebacker post.
You know, Rocky McIntosh is a young man that I'm not sure he even knows where he's going half the time, but he's exciting and he's trying to make plays, and he makes a lot of mistakes, but he also uses his speed to make plays like this. How many guys in this league could run around that pile and catch Tiki Barber from behind? There's no question this young man has a bright future.
McIntosh getting a rare start tonight. Brandon Jacobs has checked in for the first time tonight in place of Barber in the backfield on 3rd and 12. Manning with time. Tim Carter close to the marker, Adi Jamo.
Well, what's happening right now is the other New York Giants are not making plays. That was a blitz. It was a great pickup, and Carter simply has to get open and catch this football. That's one-on-one football right there. And with Shockey out of here, with the Monty Toomer out of here, guys like Tim Carter and David Tyree have to step up and make plays, and so far they have not.
But Jamo might have gotten there a tad early. Jeff Fiegels punched this one away, and Anton Randall chased back to his 5. Slips the first wave and dropped at the 13-yard line. NFL Network is counting down to the best team to ever win a Super Bowl. This Friday, it's the 1971 Dallas Cowboys. Roger Staubach and his teammates tell the story of their championship season on America's Game. That's Friday at 8:30 Eastern, only on NFL Network.
I did a speech one time with Roger Staubach, and he had, you know, a list of all his accomplishments and all that sort of thing. There's a full page, probably 25, 30 different things. The last thing on there, he won the Heisman Trophy. Now, when that's the last thing on your list, that's a pretty full life.
His alma mater lost a bowl game today.
Sure did.
Got beaten out by BC. This is Betts. Plunging across the 15-yard line. Will Demps again with the hit. How do you do a speech with somebody? Well, you guys talk together?
Well, it was right before the Super Bowl, and we're out there making up stuff about the Super Bowl. No better way to make a living, my man, let me tell you.
White-collar crime.
That's it.
Give Betts a gain of 3. Campbell low for Moss. Incomplete. That one hit the turf.
And when you have speed like Santana Moss has, this is what happens to the defensive back. Sam Madison is going to be forced to play a good 5 or 6 yards off of Santana Moss there, and that simply was just an underthrown ball by Jason Campbell. In the NFL, that's about as wide open as you're ever going to get on that play right there, and Campbell missed it.
What's Sam say? He can still play that press man-to-man?
Yeah, he would much rather be up in their face, but the Giants play off with the style you're seeing right here.
We've moved inside the 1-minute mark. Campbell with some time, throwing this side, almost picked by Sam Madison. He's eyeballing Moss, saying, I was close.
Yeah, that time the Giants came with a blitz off the slot by R.W. McQuarters. It was picked up beautifully, and really Campbell had all kinds of time. That's the reason that the Redskins love to keep extra people in to block for that situation right there. So Jason Campbell doesn't have to think about protection. It's always going to be there for him. Limited the number of people downfield in the routes, though.
We see punter Derek Frost for the first time. R.W. McQuarters moving up to field this one and gets it into Redskin territory. Brought down at the 42-yard line. Adam Archuleta coming up with a hit. Now, Archuleta's an interesting case. This is a guy who was signed in the offseason, 7-year deal, highest number ever given to a safety, a $35 million deal, $10 million in bonuses. He hadn't played for 6 weeks.
Well, and the reason he hasn't is he's the same kind of safety that Sean Taylor is. He's a down-in-the-box, play-the-run safety. And I have to tell you, at the time that I heard the signing, I said, why in the heck would they want Adam Archuleta? Because they bring him here, and he was, in essence, a free safety, which meant he had to cover people. He's fast, but he's not a cover guy at all. And when he got here, they finally figured out, well, forget it. He can't play it back there with Sean Taylor, and he's a better player, so we're going to play him.
And the bad blood is starting to boil. He said, these people have basically lied to me. Manning will throw it to Barber. He'll be short of the marker as he's dropped at the 35 by Kenny Wright.
You know, they didn't lie to him. They just misjudged his talents. His talent is not in covering people. And he was asked, especially with some of the injuries early on this season to Sean Springs and some of the other players in the secondary, he was asked to play a different role than what he could play. And Archuleta just simply couldn't fulfill that role. And they said in the locker room, it was obvious. He wasn't the guy, and so they had to make a change.
This could be figures to be our final play of the first quarter. Manning will throw for it. Throwing behind David Tyree, and he's dropped right there as the quarter comes to a close. The Redskins find themselves leading 7-3 on a bomb from Anton Randall to Santana Moss. But the Giants are on the move.
You need some help?
Yeah. Could you give me a jump?
Sure.
Give it a try.
Try giving it some gas.
Thanks.
Life is hard. Pay-per-view is easy. This month on DirecTV.
This guy is cheating on all of you, and instead of taking it out on him, you're beating each other?
Well, guys, parents must have been retarded. I see you.
DirecTV pay-per-view. No driving, no waiting, no late fees. Just press a button and you're watching your movie.
This rematch I get with Chuck Liddell is a dream come true.
Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz. Since his loss to Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz has won his last 5 fights.
He's one of the toughest fighters out there. I'll give him that respect.
No, he wants his championship back.
Liddell is the person standing in my way. Plain and simple, I'm gonna hurt him.
Mickey's and Science present UFC 66 Liddell versus Ortiz 2, Saturday, December 30th from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Live on DirecTV pay-per-view.
I'm Joe Gibbs, and you're watching NFL Network.
Want football 24/7? NFL Network's got you covered. NFL Game Day, Sunday night's best NFL highlight show. NFL Total Access, complete coverage of all 32 teams. That's all season long, only on NFL Network.
As we get set for the start of the second quarter in a 7-3 ball game, 15-year veteran Bob Whitfield has checked in at left tackle, and David Deal has moved back to his left guard spot. Gray Rugemer seems to be fine on the sideline.
I think that experiment failed. The first time David Deal gave up that sack to Andre Carter, they said, all right, we've seen enough of that. We forgive you for the 2 headbutts.
Tiki will get it right behind Whitfield, not finding much there. Of course, the problem has been that with Whitfield in there, they've had to use Tiki and keep him in the backfield to help out on that side.
Yeah, that's what people don't understand. When a player like Luke Pettigrew, who was their best pass blocker, goes down, and you bring in Bob Whitfield, who's been a good player, but clearly at the end of his career now, you have to leave Tiki Barber in the backfield to chip and help block, and all of a sudden your passing game now is just spread amongst your wide receivers and the tight end, and your best athlete sitting there blocking.
And your most consistent wide receiver, your security blanket, Amani Toomer, has been out since week 7. Manning will throw this one in and out of the hands of Vernon Fox. And man, has that been a problem for the Skins all year long. They just can't get any takeaways.
And for Eli Manning, this is the issue that I have with him at this point in his career right now. Here comes a blitz, okay? He's going to pump fake, he sees the blitz, and he just starts to look uncomfortable. He falls away from this throw, and it should have been intercepted. At that point, you have to be Tom Brady. You have to stand in there and say, if they hit me in the mouth, they hit me in the mouth. But I am not going to fall away from this throw. I'm going to stand in there and make it, take a shot, but you can't just throw the thing up in the air like that.
His critics do say that he sees the rush, and he gets happy feet.
Here they come again.
He'll throw this side, and completing it to Plaxico Burress, his first catch of the night, gets the Giants to the 15-yard line.
Better. That was better. Again, pressure comes, and the Redskins are going to continue to pressure until Eli proves that he can stand in there. But even then, you could see a little flinch at the end of that throw as he fell away from it. The problem that the Redskins have is they don't have very good cornerbacks. Now, Carlos Rogers is probably the best of what they have, but with Sean Springs out with the shoulder issue, broke his shoulder a week ago, Kenny Wright, Adi Jamo on the outside, and they don't want to match up one-on-one coverage against the Giants receivers, so it limits their pressure. They've pressured much less this year than they have in the past.
Manning with time, now pressured from the backside. Throws this one deep in the corner of the end zone, but Tim Carter appeared to be out of bounds there.
Well, Tim Carter here went right to the back of the end zone, and had a chance to make that play. My preference is that you go help your quarterback a little bit more and come back. But for the Washington Redskins, this has been an historic season with the fewest takeaways, only 12 on the entire year. And unless they get at least 3 tonight, they're going to set a new record.
Only 6 interceptions all year long, and the fact they didn't have that other one will hurt them now as the Giants score. Tiki Barber, touchdown.
And when all else fails, and who do you run behind? Big old Bob Whitfield and David
Bob's still a road grader.
You know what? And I'll bet you Bob Whitfield's a little mad. If you know Bob at all, he can get fired up in a hurry on you. But that time they went right that way and got the ball in the hands of their playmaker. Eli Manning's a good young quarterback, but when you're in a playoff, essentially a playoff football game, Tiki Barber has to be the guy.
Jay Feely makes it a 10-7 ball game. The Giants move out in front, and the Redskins are left to wonder what could have been. Potential interception in and out of the arms of Vernon Fox. It's a 10-7 ball game.
Expect more from a value meal. Introducing Wendy's Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat, bacon, and cheese, or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
Hey, look.
Count, right?
Over there. Isn't that,
Marge Davidson?
Can't believe she got that promotion. All because of an email.
Well, it started with an email.
It started with an email.
At first, she did all that data mining. She saw a pattern.
Then she got an idea.
But she sent in her email.
In her email, and that led to the group's presentation.
Which led to the Beddorf merger.
Right.
Yeah.
Still, I send email. And they're funny, Tom.
With the right software, people are ready to turn information into opportunity.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Watch John Madden break down the games exclusively on VCast, only from Verizon Wireless. Miller Lite, for great taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite, good call. For all the accessories you need to go with all the holiday gifts you got, get to Radio Shack.
We're back in the nation's capital on a Saturday night where Tiki Barber has just scored from 15 yards out to move the Giants out in front 10-7 over the Redskins. Just Barber's 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. Usually it's Brandon Jacobs pulling the heavy load as they get close to the goal line.
I don't think Tiki Barber is quite ready to retire yet.
Well, that's not what he told us, right?
Yeah, he's playing awfully well out here tonight.
And he took some heat in New York this week. Some people suggesting that he's mentally checked out.
You know what? I've never seen it in his play. With some of his comments, I might agree with that, but I've never seen it in his play.
Cartwright will get a chance to return this one from his own 2. Needs a block, doesn't get it as he crosses the 30. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Well, here's the matchup I want you to watch right out here. You've got Visanthe Shenko, who's in there because of the injury to Jeremy Shockey. Now, Shenko is not nearly the pass receiver that Shockey is, but he is a better blocker. So now with him playing the tight end position, does that mean that we see more of a running game and more of a running style today and less of Eli Manning in the passing game? And I would argue that's a very good thing.
Now, would that be Kevin Gilbride's guidance, or would it have been any different with Huffnagel?
There's no question I'm seeing a heavy influence of Kevin Gilbride right now.
Betts pushed out of bounds as he crosses the 40. Matthias Kiwanuka getting there.
And Kevin Gilbride, of course, taking over the play calling this week. And there is a statistic that I think is really significant. The Giants script their first 15 plays or so. On that script, Tiki Barber is 60% of the offense. The rest of the game, he's 48% of the offense. So what that means to me, and Tom Coughlin probably as well, is that they're getting away from what they want to do. They're freelancing with their play calling, and I'm sure it has something to do with the reason that they made the change.
This is Betts getting the first down in the arms of Brandon Short. We had a shot of Gilbride on the sidelines, and that's somewhat significant because what was one of the things Tiki talked about yesterday about having the coordinator on the sideline so that things aren't lost in communication as he asks questions and makes statements upstairs.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Huffnagel started the season being moved from the sideline upstairs. And Tiki said it was such a huge mistake because I couldn't go over there and tell him what we were doing. He said I would tell somebody who would tell somebody who would tell somebody, but it was clearly lost in translation.
Campbell, Moss is open, in and out of his hands. Will Demp's coming over. Moss clearly had a play on that one.
Well, that should have been a penalty that time, I believe, on R.W. McQuarters. That time Santana Moss ran a swing route. He broke to the outside and then went up the field. And McQuarters basically hooked him when he made the turn. It happened well before that. Sort of an out and up move. And when he went out, McQuarters bit on it and then grabbed him. The officials missed it.
Campbell started the game hitting his first 4. He has missed his last 4 now. And Betts getting stacked up on the left side for no gain. Barry Cofield coming across. First man to get there.
Boy, Matthias Kiwanuka can run. He can't tackle so well when he's going against Vince Young. But watch him come all the way across the backfield here and make this play. I hope I drew that the right way. There you go. Just going to run down Liddell Betts from the backside. That's the kind of athleticism, and that's the reason they drafted him despite having all the other defensive ends on this roster.
So Campbell figures to be throwing on 3rd and long. Low in the arms of Chris Cooley. They're saying catch, but it's going to be short of the marker. R.W. McQuarters up there with the coverage.
Yeah, essentially they had a box and one look that time against Cooley, and McQuarters just had him in man coverage all the way. And when Cooley stopped short of the line, I don't think McQuarters could believe it. He was like, okay, you want to catch it right there? Go ahead. No problem with me.
The coaches in the stands want the Redskins to go for it on 4th and 3, but that's not going to happen. Derek Frost has come onto the field, and he'll kick it away. McQuarters barely gets this one off. McQuarters lets this one drop. The Redskins will down it inside the 5 at the 2-yard line. So Manning and the Giants will start in the shadow of their own end zone when we come back.
Giving the new Sierra more power doesn't make it professional grade. Giving it more power while making it more fuel efficient does. Introducing the all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. The only pickup that offers more than 300 horsepower and over 20 EPA estimated highway miles per gallon. That's professional grade.
Rated E for everyone. You've always wondered who's behind the mask. The answer is you. When hunger strikes, it's up to you to strike back. Hide, creep, sneak, Sneak King. Make it a gift for $3.99 when you buy any value meal. Only at BK.
It feels pretty stable.
Yeah. It's a lot better today than yesterday.
Let's see how it feels.
Okay.
All right. Dislocation. Yeah, we're gonna have to pop it back in. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You wouldn't make it in pro football, but you can get inside with Bcast. Download Madden's weekly game reports, get scores, stats, and more exclusively from Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Live coverage of the 2007 NFL Combine starts February 24th, only on NFL Network.
I'm Tom Coughlin. You're watching NFL Network.
We're back in Washington where the Giants are pushed back their own goal line. Tiki Barber so far tonight, 64 of the Giants' 76 yards of total offense.
Yeah, and this is the stadium, and well, not this is stadium, but this was the team that he loved as a kid growing up in Virginia, and guess who his favorite coach was? Of course, Joe Gibbs, right? He was a big Redskins fan, and now for potentially this to be his final game, who knows? Although he's playing like he doesn't want it to be his final game.
He figures to get it here. Finn is the up back. Manning will throw from his own end zone. Throwing low for Darcy Johnson. Incomplete. Tiki Barber, as we noted, is bringing his career to a close, and he does so having established a new mark of 13,000 plus yards for the previous 7 years. The man whose mark he eclipsed is standing by on the sidelines with us, Marshall Faulk. Hey, Marshall.
How's it going, guys?
All right, thanks. Hey, you think Tiki's going to miss football? You're a guy who's just out of it.
You know, without a doubt, he's going to miss football. But I think that is more important to Tiki right now are the outside things, broadcasting and standing on the sideline or maybe even in the studio talking about other things other than football is what he's looking forward to.
They give that time to the up back. What are your thoughts, Marshall? Chris and I were talking about it here, how Tiki has said that he absolutely still has a passion for the game, but he doesn't have a passion for any of the other parts of it. Can he divide his mind like that, or if you're a teammate, have you reason to question his commitment?
You know, I think it's more, he's been on one team, and I know for me, I probably would have ran into the same thing. But when I got traded from the Colts to the Rams, that kind of energized me and gave me an opportunity to play for something other than just for that team. I think right now, the things that are going on this team and them not having an opportunity to win the Super Bowl and maybe not make the playoffs are starting to wear on him.
Can you imagine?
Jim Finn with the completion there gets the Giants a much-needed first down. I'm sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Marshall, you've had a chance to work in television for a year now. Which one would you say is more exciting?
You know what? Without a doubt, football is far more exciting on the field. Covering it has been a pleasure. I've enjoyed Dion, Mooch, and Rich.
And you can't wait to get back to playing football.
Oh, I love playing football. It's just a whole different ball game when you get to suit up and get in between the lines.
Marshall, thanks very much. Happy New Year, my friend.
All righty.
The Giants have chosen to burn their second timeout of this half. And again, we can't state it enough that this could be Tiki Barber's last game. If he does, he goes out in a blaze of glory. He has an opportunity tonight to not only we were talking about eclipsing Marshall Faulk for a 7-year span, how about eclipsing Jim Brown with perhaps the finest rushing season in a final season of anybody who ever played the game?
You know, I respect him, and he's obviously such a talented guy, and he can do anything. But the last 3 years of his career have been his career. I mean, he was good before, but he started lifting weights. He gained about 20 pounds of muscle.
He stopped fumbling.
He stopped fumbling in part because of the weightlifting. He said that there was so much work that I did on just grasping the ball and strengthening my grip, and now he's flanked out wide here, that it really made a difference along with all the things that Tom Coughlin taught him.
Brandon Jacobs will get his first carry of the night and puts a lick in the hole on Cornelius Griffin, who came up to stop him and had the misfortune of hitting him high.
Well, the Giants have been watching teams spread them out and run the football. And now you have the Giants doing the exact same thing. They take Tiki Barber out of the backfield and put in big old Brandon Jacobs, who is one of my favorite players in the league. I love to watch him run over people. And, boy, that is really tough when you get some of those inside linebackers isolated like a Lamar Marshall, who's only about 225 pounds, trying to tackle him one-on-one.
Fake to Tiki inside. Manning with pressure. Throwing deep. Incomplete. Intended for Sonoris Moss. Kenny Wright with good coverage. That was Andre Carter who was pressuring Manning from behind.
And that was Eli Manning at his best. Watch this one. He's going to really stand in there on this throw. Sums right there. This thing's going to take a little while. Stands in there. Now deliver it. Now take the shot. Now you look like a Tom Brady out there. Stand tall in that pocket. If you get beat up a little bit, so be it. And that was pretty close down the field by Kenny Wright. Kenny Wright got picked on a week ago.
Big down for the Giants, or the Redskins would figure to come away from a punt with good field position. Manning completing to Burris. First down, Giants. Burris' second catch of the night.
They're trying to do some combination coverages on the outside, which is why that you're seeing the Giants go the other way with some throws to Carter, some throws to Moss, some different guys. Here they end up with the safety coming over the top, and they're trying to run to them. Basically, Plexico Burris now is the #1 option on this offense as far as the passing game goes, and the Redskins are trying to take that away and force it to the other guys on the field.
12-yard completion gets the Giants a new set of downs, and they'll call Barber's number, but he'll lose a yard.
Boy, Joe Salavea inside is doing a pretty good number. That time he had David Deal and just sort of pressed him back into the ball carrier and left no gap.
Everybody, it seems, has an opinion on what's wrong with the Giants as they've lost 6 of their last 7. Tiki had an interesting take when we spoke with him yesterday. He said, we've gotten conditioned to expect things to go wrong. And when they do, we start to press.
You know, and there was also another player that told me that I've never been on a team with such a fragile psyche. That when things start going badly, you see guys lower their head, and hey, this is football. It's going to come down to the 4th quarter. There are going to be mistakes. You just have to expect that.
Manning will throw off his back foot again. We've got a flag. This would figure to be against the Redskins. Carlos Rogers would appear to be the guilty party.
And Carlos Rogers was going stride for stride down the field, and I believe that was Tim Carter.
Illegal contact, number 22. Defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
He was basically pushing and shoving, but I thought Carter was kind of giving it back a little bit too. There you see essentially a cutoff, and pretty good call there by the officials. What they don't want to give the defensive backs the advantage on is to cut in front of the receiver and basically impede their progress, and they refer to it as a cutoff, as you might expect, and that time he got caught on it.
Moves the Giants out to the 33 on a drive that started at their own 2. Barber will get it on first down and gets another first down for the Giants before Sean Taylor comes up to apply the lick. A matchup of 21s gets the Giants to the 45.
The Redskins are going to have to make a decision back here. Are they going to continue with the 2 deep, which essentially means you only have 7 in the box against Tiki Barber? Those safeties are backpedaling out of there and a good 15 yards deep, and that is too much room for Tiki Barber. If you don't bring that 8th man down in the box, Tiki Barber might go for 200 tonight.
Barber again. Barber breaking tackles. A lot of room out in front. Needs a block from Burris. Gets it. Touchdown, Giants.
Maybe 300.
55 on that route gives Barber 123 for the night, which is exactly what he had when these teams met in week 5.
And boy, does he have a friend in his fullback, Jim Finn. I won't try and draw on it because I'll just be drawing over the top of Tiki Barber. Watch Finn come in and take a big shot there against Rocky McIntosh and just spring him in the open field. Tiki Barber slowed down a little bit at the end of that one, almost got caught.
Feely on for the extra point, which is good. And the Giants have taken a 10-point lead with 5:44 to go in the first half. They lead the Redskins 17-7.
With unmatched technology and innovation years ahead of its time, we've pushed the boundaries of high definition and tested the limits of reality. The new Pure Vision 1080p Elite Plasma Display, only from Pioneer.
Beginning this January, watch live PGA Tour coverage on the Golf Channel. Watch live primetime coverage of the Mercedes-Benz Championship and the Sony Open in Hawaii. Plus all 5 rounds of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic and the start of Tiger's title defense at the Buick Invitational. Starting January 4th, live coverage of every PGA Tour event begins here on the Golf Channel, Golf's home. This season, an entirely new way to watch racing, bringing you closer to NASCAR than ever before. Introducing NASCAR Hot Pass. 5 driver channels with exclusive race coverage, live team audio between crew chief and driver, plus interactive features and real-time stats. This season, only DirecTV lets you ride shotgun. NASCAR Hot Pass. Order now and save $20 off the regular season price.
How is it in a town where you can get Tibetan food delivered 24 hours a day? You can get Belgian waffles delivered by actual Belgians. You can't get the NFL Network in your own home. Makes no sense.
That's lunacy. NFL fans, it's time to make the call. Let your cable operator know you want NFL Network.
Following the longest run of Tiki Barber's season and the longest drive the Giants have engineered in the last 4 years. Yeah. A 97-yard drive.
I just don't get...
The Giants have taken a 10-point lead. I'm sorry.
I don't get what the Redskins are doing. Are they more afraid of Eli Manning and this decimated receiving core than they are Tiki Barber? They need to get that safety down the box, make some plays.
Brock Cartwright will move up to his own 9-yard line to field this one. He'll cross the 30. We've got a flag down on the field. Let's wait.
During the return, holding, number 58, receiving team. 10-yard penalty, be a first down, timeout.
Jeff Posey, the offending party, has pushed the Redskins even farther back with 5:39 to play in the first half. They're trailing 17-7.
Gumdrop here. Let's clear something up. Up north, we make rocking horses and wooden trains. iPods, not so much. But if you just got an iPod, Radio Shack has loads of accessories, like headphones, speakers, FM transmitters, cool cases, many at 20 to 50% off. So for iPod stuff, go to Radio Shack. If you need a new caboose for your train, I'll whittle you one.
All the stuff you need to go with all the stuff you got. Only at Radio Shack.
Double beef fiesta salsa, so good.
Delicious, huh? And these grilled stuffed burritos are only $1.99.
All this flavor for only $1.99? No way.
Like how he told us he's going out on a date with Carmen Electra.
We're just going bowling.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Hi, Pete. Do you like my dress?
That'll do.
It's true. Taco Bell's big, tasty grilled stuffed burrito with double the beef, 3 cheeses, and grilled to go to get unbelievable taste for an unbelievable price.
How's she gonna bowl in that?
Think outside the bun.
Take away LaDainian, the Chargers got nothing.
Excuse me, Greg? Yeah. We got issues with your thesis. Frankly, I'm offended. And you don't want to offend Mr. Gates.
Has this ever been you, busted for exaggerating your football knowledge? With NFL Game Day, help is on the way.
After the Sunday night game, flip over to Rich and the Gang for the best NFL highlights show on TV. Maximize your football knowledge. Watch NFL Game Day on NFL Network.
NFL Network presents some of the greatest Super Bowl games in NFL history. Namath, Bradshaw, Montana. The original games re-aired for the first time ever. NFL Super Bowl Classic starts this Thursday with Super Bowl 40 only on NFL Network.
Tiki Barber is all smiles on this Saturday night, and with good reason. 10 carries, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He and the Giants are out in front 17-7. Campbell will throw on first down. Finds nothing and gets a gain of 2 before taking a pop from Brandon Short. Campbell is down.
All right, let's just show you on the touchdown quickly here. You're going to see Vernon Fox come down and try to be the 8th man in the box, but you have to make the tackle. And this is what they did last week when they were playing the St. Louis Rams. They got themselves in position and missed the tackle.
Meanwhile, Jason Campbell is still down, and the Redskins don't like it. They think he went feet first, and Brandon Short came up and applied the lick in a move not unlike the Gathers hit on Trent Green.
Well, he was trying to slide. It wasn't much of a slide, but Brandon Short got him. Tough. Lot to ask those guys to be able to determine that late whether you're sliding or not.
No, I understand, sir. The problem is I don't have access to your records.
Boy, okay. That's a really great question. I don't have the answer with me.
No, you need to do that in person. It's on a different system.
You sure you're a customer?
It's not the 6500.
Nope.
But I ordered the 6500.
Yeah, that's not what this says.
What can people do with the right software?
Yes, ma'am. I've got all of your records in front of me. I can take care of it from here.
For starters, keep the customer happy.
Between my two phone bills, it's probably about $60 a month.
About $150.
Probably $100 a month.
With Vonage, you get unlimited calls to anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, and all the cool features you could ever want are included. And it's just $24.99 a month.
Call 1-888-530-4VON and get your first month of Vonage service free. That's a value of $24.99. Vonage, the better way to phone for less.
Expect more from a value meal. Introducing Wendy's Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat, bacon, and cheese, or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
NFL Total Access covers the league with 32 team cams.
Like Rams cam.
Or Steelers cam.
Colts cam.
Let me see. Ravens cam, Raiders cam, Niners cam. Who else did I play?
Young Jason Campbell has come off the field under his own power. He's getting checked out on the sidelines, and the veteran Mark Brunell, who was their starter for the first 9 games of the year, has checked back in to the boos of the crowd here at FedEx Field.
Well, they don't forget here, do they?
Looked like Jansen jumped on the right side, 76.
Ball start, number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
And Mark Brunell, you have to remember, went out with the 5th highest quarterback rating in the NFC. But basically that 3-6 record is what did him in. And they said, well, if we're not going to win anything this year anyway, we might as well find out what we have with Jason Campbell. But I have to say, if I were the New York Giants, I'd rather see Jason Campbell right now.
Why?
Yeah, you got a veteran quarterback here, a completely different style than what the Giants prepared for. They knew exactly what they wanted to do with Campbell, and now with Brunell, a little X-factor.
Betts gets tripped up in the hole after a gain of 3. Jabril Wilson coming up. True enough, but Brunell is not a very mobile quarterback anymore. They know where he's going to be.
Right, and it's strange that basically he was taken out, at least in part, wanted to get some young, fresh legs in there, where Mark Brunell at one point in his career was one of the most mobile quarterbacks that there was. But right now you have a guy in there that at one point this season completed 22 straight passes. He's going to play a little ball control to go along with a much improved running game since he last played quarterback. We'll see.
He's a man Tom Coughlin knows well. He was Coughlin's quarterback in Jacksonville for 8 years. Showing some mobility left in his legs. He's not going to get to the first down marker. Will Demps and Antonio Pierce coming up to deny him.
Yeah, and I think at that point, despite those older legs, you got to put your head down and take a shot here. I know it's the last game of the season, but he was about 3 yards away from the first down and did a little samba on the sideline there. You've got to go after that one.
Let's give him a bit of a break. He has no idea what Campbell's condition is, and they don't want to be down to the 3rd quarterback.
You think he was thinking all that running down the field?
It's possible. I'm giving him a break.
All right. I'm not.
R.W. McQuarters will have a chance to return this one. He gets tripped up and then popped at the Giants' 28. Coming up next, it's the Wendy's halftime show. I didn't wait for the whistle. We invite you to
favorite part.
Join Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Deion Sanders, and Marshall Falk. They're going to have first half highlights and analysis and a look ahead to tomorrow's big games. At least we think there'll be big games if the Giants cooperate tonight.
You know, there's a lot of teams and probably a couple of television networks hoping that the Giants don't win, so their games are a lot more meaningful tomorrow. But unless this Washington offense gets it going a little bit, and they got it going last week against St. Louis, but so far they've been looking pretty inept. The Giants defense playing well.
Brandon Jacobs giving Tiki Barber a breather. Manning will throw this side. That's Jim Finn with the reception to the 33.
Well, the NFC tomorrow has a lot of really significant games if the Giants lose this game. Yeah, correct.
In the second half, we're going to take these teams one by one, and you're going to explain. No, we do have to do that. But explain how, if you are a fan of any of those teams, you can still get to the playoffs. But all of them begin with the Giants have to lose. This is Jacobs. Finding himself about a yard short of the first down marker in the arms of Andre Carter.
Hey, Brandon Jacobs, a big old load, and they have been working that left side over here, just going all day. It's where Tiki Barber has been gaining all of his yards. Jacobs comes in, and they just keep hammering away on that side.
Giants in a bit of a hurry up trying to beat the 2-minute warning.
The hefty lefty's in at quarterback.
Jared Lorenzen.
There you go. Good luck tackling that.
The Pillsbury throw boy.
All right, that was fun.
What are they quoting Jared at? 285?
Felt 285.
That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Jared Lorenzen seeing his first action of the year. We've hit the 2-minute break, and we'll take it. Giants out in front, 17-7.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by Wendy's. Get in the middle of flavor. Do Wendy's new Double Melt and do what tastes right.
$2.99. Expect more from a value meal. $2.99. Get Wendy's new Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
Okay, let's review. Sarah, you got the new cherry chocolate phone.
Thanks, Daddy.
Keith, you got the new Envy. And you both got the network. What'd Dad get?
Aftershave.
No, Dad got hosed.
You can still get what you really want at Verizon Wireless. VCast phones by LG like the Envy, the Chocolate, or these two fully loaded VCast phones for just $49.99. Verizon Wireless, it's the network.
Expect more from a value meal. $2.99. Get Wendy's new Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
EA Sports Madden NFL 2007 presents a look at one of this week's best matchups. With home field advantage already clinched, quarterback Rex Grossman will look to get the Bears ready for the postseason tomorrow night against the Packers. Keyed by Pro Bowl receiver Donald Driver, Green Bay can still make the playoffs, but they'll need a win in what could be the final game for future Hall of Famer Brett Favre. EA Sports Madden NFL 2007, in stores now.
Back in Washington, what's been a good night for the New York Giants and their offense, and particularly for Tiki Barber. How do you explain the decision of Greg Williams to kind of say, you know what, let Barber beat us rather than Eli? I don't get it.
Well, you know, I think they're trying to get cute. I think they're trying to look like they're in a passing defense and then sneak somebody late down in the box. But by doing that, they're allowing Tiki Barber to gain a little momentum. And then once he gets those safeties one-on-one in the open field, it's no contest.
It's a mismatch.
Yep.
And so right now, the Giants in a ball game, they desperately need a game that would basically put them into the playoffs. We say basically because there is still a possibility that should they win and the Packers win, the Packers on strength of victory could prevail. But
ain't happening.
Ain't happening.
No. There's only about 10 things that all have to happen together. There's a Tiki fan.
Jared Lorenzen's your homeboy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's out of Fort Thomas, Kentucky. I saw him play when he was a junior and weighed only about 260 in high school.
Just a little tight.
Yeah.
2 minutes. 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 2 minutes Manning will complete this one to Barber. Great juke step there. Was that Vernon Fox he left?
Boy, everything has been over here to the left side, and now they've got David Deal back in at tackle again, and Gray Rugemer back in. And so for whatever reason, the Giants are just shuffling this offensive line, and it's all working because they're all going left.
That was Odie Jamo with the ankle problems. This one's tipped. It'll be second down for the Giants as we've 1.5 left in the first half. Look at those numbers for a guy who's stepping aside when this, perhaps when this game is done, certainly when this season is done, whenever that may be.
You know, Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, we've seen other guys walk away, and it's been running backs. You know, I guess they do take a pounding and all those sorts of things, but I can tell you, no matter how many television shows he does, it's never going to get to be as good as what he's doing out there right now. Nothing in your lifetime will ever match the excitement of playing in the National Football League.
You don't think waking up at 4 a.m. and saying good morning?
You'll have to tell me about that.
Manning will complete this one. This is Carter coming up with it. 2 yards short of the first down marker. Giants in a hurry up.
And now Carter finally stepping up and making a play, that time against Odie Jamo.
This is Barber. First down Giants. Sean Taylor with the hit. The Giants still have one timeout.
And Eli looks like he's getting in a bit of a comfort zone, doesn't he? You run the offense back through Tiki Barber, and it settles your quarterback down. You can't just rush the passer now.
Not that that's a Redskins strength anyway. This one is tipped up. Jamo came up, applying the hit on Carter. We said it's not a Redskins strength. They have the fewest sacks of anybody in the NFL, so it's easy for Manning to get comfortable back there.
You know, and it's a chicken or the egg thing, you know, or they don't have the corners back there, so they don't feel like they can blitz a lot and leave them in man coverage. But if you don't get the pressure, it puts too much pressure on your cornerbacks, and they're going to look bad on the back end.
It's why that Washington defense is last in so many departments in the National Football League. Last in touchdowns allowed, interceptions, sacks, opponent passer rating. Not been a good year defensively. Barber crossing the 30. Jamo again with the hit.
Nice block inside by Chris Nee. Again, the Giants going with this spread look and isolating their big offensive lineman inside, just one-on-one blocking that time against Demetric Evans and creating a big hole.
And the Giants in a hurry up. Manning gets the first down himself, and they'll burn their last time out. This is the third and final timeout. New York. This is a 30-second timeout. Coaching staffs from all 32 NFL teams are going to be on hand to evaluate the nation's top college players. That's at the 2007 Scouting Combine. Watch NFL Network's exclusive coverage of what amounts to an intense 4-day job interview. That's coming this February, only on the NFL Network. We're already talking about 2007?
Unbelievable. I'll never forget going into that Scouting Combine where they have all those players, right? And they want to bring you in and get your height and weight. But what they really want to do is see you in your underwear. They want to see what kind of body you have. How do you think I fared in that test? I went from a first-round draft pick to a late second-round pick. It was not good.
Hold up, let him get in here. Just 18 seconds left. And it's the Redskins who look confused on the defensive side of the ball. Manning will throw for the end zone. Caught. Burris. Touchdown Giants.
Won't matter. That one's coming back. Plexico Burris pushed off on the play.
He's pointing at Odie Jamo and saying, no, it was him.
I'd be surprised. Of course, I've been surprised a lot this year.
We'll talk about it.
I thought Plexico went down, extended his arms, jumped up and made the play. But, boy, Plexico Burris, how many plays has he made this season like that?
There are fouls by both teams. Pass interference, number 17, offense. Pass interference, number 32, defense. Those fouls all set. We'll replay first down.
All right, explain that, will you?
I would imagine, and I'm guessing here, that one official saw this push and another official saw that hand grab. That's a good call by the official. Watch Jamo at the end of this play grab the right arm and pull it down to Plexico Burris. Nice job of officiating that time. No question, pass interference on both. Good call.
I confess, that's a first.
Yeah, that's tough, boy. That's a crew working well together right there.
And so the Giants are left with 12 seconds. They're out of timeouts. 26-yard line of the Redskins. Manning will throw for the end zone again.
Oh, boy.
Burris again, this time sandwiched between Jamo and 21 Sean Taylor.
And Jamo has a little something to say, and he's going to get
We got another flag.
How many times are we going to see this in the NFL this season? It's so stupid. First of all, I thought it was pass interference to begin with. That's not called. So Jamo said, okay, you're not going to call a penalty on me for that? Then I'm going to come back and get a stupid one.
Tony, number 32, defense. 15-yard penalty. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Just absolutely kills you. It's ridiculous. And you know, the whole trash talking stuff, and I guess it's going to be a part of our culture from here on out. I love what the NFL is doing, trying to get rid of it. Throw the flags. See how many times they want to kill their own football team.
Tom Coughlin has sent his field goal unit onto the field. Let's see what kind of response Jamo gets as he comes to the sidelines. Jay Feely is on for a 31-yard attempt. He has made good from 34. Those were our first points of the ball game. These three are our latest. Leaves us with 2 seconds left in this first half. The Giants move out in front, 20-7 on a dumb one by Jamo. There's no way around it.
Yep, that's the way it is right there. But boy, this game really changed in the first quarter, don't you think? With the fumble by Liddell Betts, Fred Robbins picking it up, running it all the way back. It looked like the Redskins had really established their ground game, and now they just are fishing for something on the offensive side. But for the New York Giants, this is impressive. This is a team that's lost 6 out of 7. This is a team that changed offensive coordinator. They had to reshuffle their offensive line. They lose their outstanding tight end. And they come into this game, and they're making a statement. This is an outstanding effort on the road by Eli and company, both offensively and defensively, and especially that guy.
So far.
So far, yeah. But, you know, the Redskins aren't exactly the Indianapolis Colts as far as offensive explosiveness either.
The Giants dominating the second quarter, not only in the scoreboard, but on the ground, 168 total yards in that quarter.
Jason Campbell on the other sideline looked pretty bright-eyed, so maybe we see him again in the second half. But unless he can tackle Tiki Barber, it may not matter.
Healy will get this one in the arms of Cartwright, and he'll be brought down at the 38 as our first half comes to a close. Coming up next, it's the Wendy's halftime show. We invite you to join Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Deion Sanders, Marshall Falk. Wendy's halftime show, that's coming up. It's 20-7 Giants as we take a break.
Our engineers saw every square inch of the Sierra as an opportunity for another breakthrough. Introducing the more comfortable, more powerful, and the most fuel-efficient all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. We examined everything and overlooked nothing to create our greatest pickup yet. That's professional grade.
Don't forget about us, Stevie.
With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
Between my two phone bills, it's probably about $60 a month.
About $150.
Probably $100 a month.
With Vonage, you get unlimited calls to anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, and all the cool features you could ever want are included. And it's just $24.99 a month.
Call 1-888-530-4VON and get your first month of Vonage service free. That's a value of $24.99. Vonage, the better way to phone for less.
NFL Network, football 24/7.
Welcome to the Wendy's Halftime Show. Get in the middle of flavor. Do Wendy's new double melt and do what tastes right.
And welcome to the Wendy's Halftime Show. My name is Rich Eisen, joined by Marshall Falk, Deion Sanders, and Steve Mariucci. The New York Giants are getting it done in the first half of action in a game they have to have. They're winning 20-7, and Tiki Barber has surpassed Jim Brown for the most prolific final season for a running back in NFL history. Again, Tiki Barber swears he is going to hang him up after this season, and it appears that the Giants keep playing the way that they're playing. There will be an extra game for them this season. Redskins' first drive of this game, however, Jason Campbell came back. I mean, they got swallowed by O.C. Umenyiora, but Campbell breaks free. Again, Giant defensive lineman lets a quarterback out of his grasp. And, of course, as you all know, Michael Strahan is not playing in this game. 4 plays after that, Liddell Betts is running right. Brandon Short takes him down. The ball comes loose, and here comes Fred Robbins, the big fella.
This is a big play by Jason Campbell to stop the touchdown and hold these guys to just 3 points. That's a big save right there.
And Fred Robbins ran out of gas at the 12, and it was just 3 points there, Steve. And here comes Liddell Betts hanging onto the football this time, a 21-yard gain. Betts with 55 first-half rushing yards, and then the only Steeler with a touchdown pass in last year's Super Bowl comes up with a touchdown pass tonight. Antoine Randall to Santana Moss.
A great adjustment by Santana Moss. He's known as a big play guy. You know it had to be coming sometime during this game, and he made a great reaction on the ball.
But then the Giants took this game over. Eli Manning, a nice pass to Plexico Burress on 3rd and 9 to pick up the first down. Tiki Barber with a touchdown, his 3rd of the year, and the Giants take the lead 10-7. Next possession, we're 8 plays into it when Tiki Barber is off to the races for 11 yards, and then the next play, he is gone. 55-yard touchdown, his longest run of the season.
You got to like what you see from the Giants' offensive line. When they've been opening up some big holes for Tiki, and he took advantage of those holes.
And then the defense gets on a roll. Jason Campbell gets smoked by Brandon Short. Campbell would leave the game. We're told that he is expected to return to this game later on in the second half, and the Giants up 17-7 with enough time left to try and get points before the end of the first half. This was called double pass interference. You ever heard of that, Deion?
I never have heard of that. I wish a couple of those would have gone my way when I played the game, but that was a great call by the official not to have an influence on the game.
It led to 3 more points for the Giants, who lead 20-7, and with 214 total yards, that's already several more than they had against the New Orleans Saints in their entire game last week. Steve, do you believe the new play calling with Kevin Gilbride is effective thus far?
Well, I know what's effective. It's they're protecting Eli Manning and running the football very well. Tiki has 20-some yards rushing, and then they've only completed 8 passes, but they're throwing it out of the end zone. They're protecting Eli Manning, and I like the play calling. It's been good mix.
We got to give credit where credit is due. Let's give Tiki Barber all his credit. 12, I believe, for 137 yards and 2 TDs. The guy's phenomenal. He's rushing against 8 men in the box because this Washington Redskins, they're playing man-to-man on the outside, trying to take away the run with 8 men in the box, and he's still able to do what he's capable of doing.
And not to take nothing away from Eli Manning. Eli Manning is on point today. 7 of 9 converting third downs. He's putting the ball where it needs to be. The receivers aren't having to make a lot of adjustments when they catch the ball, and therefore they can get run out the catch.
The Giants are leading 20-7 at the half. They are 1 half away from pretty much putting the 6th seed in the NFC playoff race away. Tiki Barber just running it well for the New York Giants, who are up 13 at the half.
Nissan asks, what's your resolution? More power, space, capability. How about saving money during Nissan's National Year-End Sales Event? Get $2,750 Nissan cash back or 1% financing on the Titan King Cab. Plus, get up to $1,000 bonus cash on select Nissans on top of all other incentives through January 2nd.
When I signed up for Vonage, I was able to keep my phone number, and then when I moved, I was able to take it with me.
Call quality is the utmost. It projects my business, and with Vonage, it's perfect.
Vonage and reliability, that just kind of goes hand in hand.
It's just $24.99 a month for unlimited local and long-distance calling. Vonage is a better way to phone for less.
Get 1 month free. Call 1-888-350-4VON.
Once upon a time, there was this idea. One of those proverbial big ideas. An idea so big that it needed help making the leap between possibility and reality. This big idea, it's your idea. Now who's going to help you make it real?
This is Tony Romo, and you're watching the NFL Network.
Welcome back to the Wendy's halftime show from beautiful Washington, D.C. We're about 11 miles away from the White House. I want to talk with you guys about what Jason Taylor said about Sean Merriman this week, talking about his failed test that got him suspended for 4 games for taking some form of a steroid. And he said it's ultimately against the rules, and it sends the wrong message to the youth in America and people that look at this game as not only for entertainment purposes, but to also learn from it. You really shouldn't be able to fail a test like that and play in this league to begin with, to make the Pro Bowl and all the other awards. I think you're walking that fine line of sending the wrong message. Dion, your thoughts, sir?
First of all, it's 3 M's when it comes to speaking against another person. You don't talk about another man, another man's money, and another man's mama. That's like the unwritten rules, and I'm not really joking. That's like the unwritten rules of the NFL, and I can't believe Jason Taylor would do such a thing. He's far too classy, just point the finger at another individual.
Well, first of all, I think Jason Taylor would like to be the Defensive Player of the Year, okay, number one. But to think that Sean Merriman, after playing only 12 games, could be that guy because his numbers indicate that he's good enough to be that person is very interesting. But I do agree with Jason Taylor. I think if somebody violates the league rules, then and I have to vote, I'm going to vote for the guy who hasn't violated any rules.
I think so too, and I believe Jason Taylor is probably just a little bit upset with the way that their season has gone, coming off a loss to the Jets on Monday night. I think that he was upset with that and spoke out on the subject that I know, knowing Jason, he probably didn't want to speak out on.
Well, right now, the fans of the Rams, Panthers, and Falcons are quite upset because if the Redskins can't come back in the second half and the Giants win this game, then those teams are eliminated from contention in the playoff race in 2006. The second half of the Giants and Redskins, Tiki Barber with 137 rushing yards thus far. Coming up.
Thank you for watching the Wendy's Halftime Show. Get in the middle of flavor. Do Wendy's new Double Melt and do what tastes right.
Expect more from a value meal. Introducing Wendy's Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat, bacon, and cheese, or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
NFL Network lets you see the NFL like you've never seen it before. Made by football fans for football fans. The playoffs start next week, and NFL Network is your place for the best news and coverage. Exclusive inside access to the league on NFL Total Access. And the best playoff highlight show on TV, NFL Game Day. You also get the best playoff games re-aired each week right here on NFL Replay. Fans, it's time to make the call. Let your cable operator know you want NFL Network.
Wouldn't it be great to hear exactly what you want on radio? Then say yes to over 130 channels of Sirius satellite radio. Say yes to 100% commercial-free music from rock to pop, hip-hop to country. Yes to every NFL game, the NBA, college sports, and NASCAR coming this January. Yes to comedy, news, talk, and more. To a subscription that's less than 50 cents a day. Say yes and join over 10 million listeners. Say no to regular radio. And now get a radio plus a 3-month subscription for less than $99. Sirius, the best radio on radio.
And you believe you can conquer anything. And that's what this team's about.
Welcome again to HBO's Inside the NFL.
HBO's Inside the NFL. Inside the NFL.
Have you thought at all that this Sunday might be the last time you're playing here at Lambeau?
I said, if you'll give me another chance, I promise I'll get you to the Super Bowl.
On the last Saturday of the year, the New York Giants come into Washington's FedEx Field in desperate need of a win to basically assure themselves a spot in the playoff. They get the first break of the game when Liddell Betts fumbles, and Fred Robbins returns it to set up a Jay Feely field goal to get the Giants on the board first. This bomb from Anton Randall to Santana Moss gave the Redskins a brief lead, 7-3, but after that it's been all Tiki Barber. Tiki here with a 15-yard touchdown run, and then the big one, a 55-yard touchdown run to go along with 2 Jay Feely field goals, has the Giants out in front 20-7. Up top, along with Chris Collinsworth, I'm Brian Gumble. Is it too early to pronounce the Huffnagel to Gilbride move a success?
No, I think it's really been the difference so far in this first one. Not only has he gotten the ball to Tiki Barber, which we talked about at the top of the show, but the other part of this is he's getting the ball down the field. Every time that the Redskins have been in single coverage, they're not just trying to hit some dinky little route on the sideline. They're going for it all. And they haven't hit many of them, but basically what it's done is force the coverage back away from the line of scrimmage and open things up for Tiki Barber.
And if our math is correct, and I'm not saying it is, by the way, it would appear,
rarely is.
It would appear that Tiki has handled the ball 14 of their 36 offensive plays. So they're putting it in the hands of their best player.
Yeah, there's no question about it, and that's what they should be doing all along. But Eli Manning tonight, after a little bit of nervousness in the pocket early on, has really settled down, and that's what having a running back like Tiki Barber will do for you.
The Giants will get the ball first to start our second half. Sonoris Moss will take it out of his own end zone and work his way back to the 25. You see the flag lying there. See what Walt Anderson has to say.
During the return, holding number 37, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
And that's Audie Jameau, who is down on the field. We heard the slap of helmets there as Moss crossed the 25.
I never like to see those where they're lying face down like that. That's
never lower your head.
Audie Jameau on the bottom of this pile as it takes place, and you're absolutely right, Brian, when you lower your head, good things do not happen.
I think I heard Chris Spielman say it best. He said, you want to keep your head up, you want to see what you're tackling.
Yep.
We'll take a break.
From the director of Hero and House of Flying Daggers, Chow Yun-Fat, Gong Li, Curse of the Golden Flower, rated R. Now playing select cities. Opens in theaters everywhere January 12th.
Nissan asks, what's your resolution? More capability, style, power, space. How How about saving money during Nissan's National Year-End Sales Event? Save $3,200 on the 2006 Nissan Altima Special Edition. Plus, get up to $1,000 bonus cash on select Nissans on top of all other incentives through January 2nd.
You know, FedEx gave us solutions for all our domestic shipping needs. Maybe we should go international. Well, FedEx has been in China for over 20 years. Hey, Bill, put a push pin in China. Bill, it's Russia. That's Greenland, Bill. You have no idea where China is, do you?
Whoa!
FedEx, shipping to over 200 cities in China.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by Sony Pictures Classics. Curse of the Golden Flower opens everywhere January 12th. Nissan reminds you to ship the way you move through the world. FedEx, for more football fun, go to FedExFootball.com. The Home Depot, you can do it. We can help.
Out of the commercial break, we greet you with good news. Adi Jamo got to his feet and came to the sidelines under his own power. It would appear he had his bell rung, may have even been knocked out. But he is upright and appears to be fine. And the Giants have reshuffled their offensive line again, gone back to the starting unit. Rugemer in at guard and Deal in at tackle. As Manning throws this time for Tim Carter.
Now with Adi Jamo on the sideline, at least for a while, the Redskins and that thin secondary get even thinner. So let's see if the Giants try and take advantage of it here and start to spread things out, put in another wide receiver, and try and take advantage.
Troy Vincent has checked in where Jamo was, seeing his first action of the night. This is Barber's first carry of the second half. He gets it back to the 20. Carlos Rogers and Sean Taylor double teaming him there.
Well, we talked about Visante Shanko again at the top of your screen there, going to get good position on Andre Carter. Andre Carter, an excellent pass rusher, but he's a little small. And when you get a big guy like Shanko on the outside and able to block him, that's a big reason why they've been working left all night. Typically, most offenses you see their tight end playing on the right-hand side, but tonight Shanko has been predominantly to the left where they've been trying to run. Here he's back to the right.
Carter, a guy who played the outside linebacker position in his years with San Francisco, says he likes being a defensive end, though. 3rd and 5. Completes this one. Shanko with his first catch of the night. See, he can catch it.
There you go. We're in there working against Lamar Marshall, and for Eli Manning, it just looks like he's taking a deep breath. I think he is just loving what he's getting out of Kevin Gilbride. Of course, Kevin Gilbride has been around. There's a guy that's been a head coach in this league. He's been offensive coordinator, 4 or 5 different teams. And he just looks completely settled in. Eli looks really comfortable. And for whatever reason, it's working. Sort of like what Brian Billick did earlier this season with Jim Fossil.
Buddy Ryan's sparring partner, in case you missed it, has been moved into calling the plays. John Huffnagel was removed from that post. Huffnagel did not make the trip here.
No, and apparently Huffnagel is nowhere to be found right now. I think he hung around for a day or so, and then he abandoned. But for Tom Coughlin, it was a bold move. I mean, you know, some people thought it was crazy. Some people thought it was long overdue. But whatever it was, on Christmas Day, he fires his offensive coordinator, essentially, makes the change, and it has paid huge dividends so far in this one.
But in the process, did he scapegoat Huffnagel?
Well, as of right now, it looks like it was a good move, so I don't know if you can say that or not.
Barber plowing his way to the 32.
You know, it's one of the things I really enjoy watching with Tiki Barber, and I'm sure Tom Coughlin enjoys watching it as well, is the way he runs between the tackles. You know, at one time, he was a 180-pound back who fumbled a lot, who had issues, was a pretty good player, goes out and bulks himself up to 200 pounds. And you can just see in the way that he attacks between the tackles that he's as comfortable running there as he ever was to the outside.
Let's see if Manning is as comfortable as we suggested. Another 3rd down. Redskins come with only their front 4, and this one's in and out of the arms of Plaxico Burress. And the Redskins will take over on downs, and we expect to see Jason Campbell, who was forced from the ball game early,
Eli's lucky on this one. Kenny Wright just had it dead in his hands and was completely covered. They had, again, that double coverage on Plexico Burress. He has to keep going back to the other guys. He did it in the first half. Don't get stuck on Plexico here in the second half.
Jeff Fiegels is on, and Anton Randall is stationed at his own 25. Fiegels gets it away. L, thinking better of it, steps out at the 32. And we'll see. Jason Campbell is going to be back in the ball game and at the controls of the Redskins offense. He's trailing 20-7.
Don't forget about us, Stevie.
With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
$2.99. Expect more from a value meal. $2.99. Get Wendy's new Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right. Expect more from a value meal. $2.99. Get Wendy's new Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
NFL Network presents some of the greatest Super Bowl games in NFL history. Namath, Bradshaw, Montana. The original games re-aired for the first time ever. NFL Super Bowl Classic starts this Thursday with Super Bowl 40 only on NFL Network.
Early moments of the second half where this game in FedEx Field in the nation's capital is being brought to you in, as it says there, Glorious HD.
Glorious. It even has it
I think that's the
on
official
the
name.
billboard.
Did you like the little hat on the logo, too? A little party hat?
It's no longer just HD. It's Glorious HD.
And Jason Campbell back at the controls of the Redskins offense, trying to see if they can put some points on the board. Swings this side to Liddell Betts, but he's going nowhere. He's wrapped up and dropped at the 25 by Antonio Pierce. If the Redskins needed any encouragement that the game is never over, they could get it from last night's Inside Bowl on NFL Network. How about that one? Minnesota jumped out to a 38-7 lead and led by 38-7 with 7:45 to play in the third period. But Texas Tech Red Raiders got a 52-yard field goal, ascended in overtime, and then won it in OT 44-41.
You were on about your 75th rib at that point, weren't you?
I was one behind you.
You polished them all off last night.
I was one behind you. We did have a good rib party, didn't we? Campbell completes this one to the 30. That's Betts.
I tell you, the Washington Redskins have gone away from what they do, which is run the football. They really, over the past 5 or 6 weeks, have gotten back. Liddell Betts, 5 straight 100-yard games to tie a Washington Redskins record. And yet tonight, and especially after that first fumble, they've run the ball, but it hasn't been the focus the way that it's been over the past couple of weeks. There's plenty of time in this game. They don't need to get away from what they do.
With time, Campbell in and out, picked at the 45. Jason Bell would appear to be the Giant who came up with it. The ball was ticked by Kevin Dockery. And Bell comes up with his first interception of the year. 6-year man out of UCLA.
Well, they got Cooley basically on a clearing route in between, and the ball was thrown so far behind Santana Moss, I think that he thought it was for somebody else. It was basically between the two receivers, and neither one of them really had a chance.
So what's worse than a 3 and out? a 3 and turnover.
Boy, I'm telling you, now for the New York Giants, they need to go looking for the dagger right here. You take a team that is not playing with much emotion, they give you a turnover, you go put a touchdown on the board, and you sit back and start thinking about who you're playing in the playoffs next week.
Manning to Barber. Going to be forced out at the 48. What a night it's been for Tiki Barber. If this is his last game, he's going out in a blaze of glory. He's got 146 yards on the ground and now 24 in the air. He's also got a couple of touchdowns. But increasingly, it is looking like he will extend his season.
Yeah, and, you know, even that last play, you say, oh, that's not that big a deal. On first down, you dump it off to Tiki Barber, and now you have 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4 here.
And Barber gets another first down.
Boy, they are wearing out that left side over there. These guys are just taking it and plowing it right down the throats of the Washington Redskins. It is David Deal, it is Gray Rugemer. Remember, that's the change that was made on the outside. And for Andre Carter, he wishes he could get back to start pass rushing again, because right now everybody is beating him up.
Jim Finn leading Barber. Good lead block in the hole at the point of attack. Brandon Jacobs has checked into the ball game on first down for the Giants.
Again, the tight end to the left side.
Manning throwing long for Carter.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Carter sold that one.
Yes, he did. That looked like a World Cup match that time.
Sean Taylor is going to be flagged.
Pass interference, number 21. Defense. First down.
Oh, come on. You know, give him credit. Tim Carter got it sold, but that clearly, whatever it was that Taylor did to him, didn't cause that reaction. I thought you might get the other official come running in and saying, are you sure? Because it looked like a bit of a show to me on that one, and I'm sure it did to Sean Taylor as well.
It winds up a 31-yard offense. Carter may have won himself a Golden Globe right there. First and goal from the 6. Manning will throw for it. Touchdown, Carter.
And essentially the same play that the Rams hit him on a week ago. You've got play action inside. Sean Taylor jumps up to try and play the run, and they throw it right in behind him.
And everything breaking the Giants' way at FedEx Field.
And I'm sure there's a few Giants fans saying it's about time, because it had been breaking the other way for some time. But again, they go away from Plexico burst. They find somebody else. Plexico drawing the double teams, creating some real opportunities for these other receivers.
Jay Feely punctuates the drive. Moves the Giants out in front 27-7. This was the big penalty on Sean Taylor. And then Manning to Carter for the touchdown. Giants up by 20.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Outlander. Out everything. Everything.
I was walking down the street. I saw a poster.
Beginning this January, watch live PGA Tour coverage on the Golf Channel. Watch live primetime coverage of the Mercedes-Benz Championship and the Sony Open in Hawaii. Plus all 5 rounds of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic and the start of Tiger's title defense at the Buick Invitational. Starting January 4th, live coverage of every PGA Tour event begins here on the Golf Channel, Golf's home.
The holiday is over, so return every lame present you got. Pick up the unrated DVD you must own. With hilarious stuff too outrageous for theaters. Jackass #2.
Now available on DVD.
ho, ho, ho.
From all of us at the UFC.
Have a great holiday.
And be sure to watch the UFC on DirecTV, pay-per-view, channel 123.
And my brother gets the NFL Network up in Boston. He says it's awesome.
Great. And another reason to hate the Patriots. I mean, I want the NFL Network. I'm moving to Boston. Gotta draw the line somewhere.
NFL fans, it's time to make the call. Let your cable operator know you want NFL Network.
Back at FedEx Field, where it's getting late early for the Washington Redskins in the wake of 24 unanswered points by the Giants. The Redskins now find themselves trailing 27-7. And there's a good look at it, the story of the Redskins season. They just haven't had any takeaways all year long. And they had a couple in their hands tonight, just couldn't bring them in. Brock Cartwright crosses the 30, brought down, and once again Campbell will come out to see if the Redskins can get anything to work.
All right, here's both safeties actually get caught on this one as they both come down with the run fake. Again, Kevin Gilbride with a tremendous call here, sells the run, go back over the top, touchdown for Tim Carter. And Eli Manning is starting to have fun. That guy has had a lot on his back, and we talked about in the open, you've got to be a little bit more than tough to be the quarterback of the Giants. You've got to be New York tough, and tonight he has been.
Liddell Betts with some running room on the left side gets close to midfield, following the lead block of Randy Thomas.
Randy Thomas coming out in front, and Sam Madison said, "You have to be kidding me." I'm a brave guy. I'm not that brave.
I'm brave, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Good pickup by Betts. Gain of 17. Campbell will swing it for Moss, looking for running room, doesn't find much. Good play by R.W. McQuarters. NFL coaches and the best college seniors are going to come together for the first time at the 2007 Senior Bowl. It's the first major step, the path to the draft. Live coverage of the practices and the 2007 Senior Bowl begins next month on the NFL Network.
NFL Network, you don't just get the games.
You get the practices.
Oh, yeah, baby. You got to be there for the whole thing.
Not a game. Not a game.
Practice.
We're talking about practice. Not a game. 2nd and 7. This is Betts. Good play by Demps. We'll leave the Redskins looking at 3rd and let's call it 4.
Well, the Redskins think they found something here with Randy Thomas pulling out around. Here they go again, get the lead block of the fullback, and Thomas cleans up again. This one seems to have a little shelf life for him right now.
Well, that's great, except for they don't have time to just do this up and down the field.
Well, they do. It's still, you know, we're halfway through the third quarter here.
Campbell with time hits Cooley, and Cooley crosses the 30, gets it to the 28. Antonio Pierce with the stop.
And there's no question that for Jason Campbell, Chris Cooley's his favorite guy. And the reason that is he says that Chris Cooley practices as hard as he plays the game. So in practice, I know exactly what the timing of his routes are going to be in the game, and his hard work makes me want to go there first.
Much needed drive for the Campbell and the Redskins. This is Betts. Blockers in front. Fights his way for a gain of 4.
Liddell Betts going for his 6th straight, 100-yard game. That was a little bit of a nervous run that time, though. Did you see him? I mean, he had 2 hands on that ball early. That fumble early clearly impacted him, but still averaging over 5 yards a carry, and he's probably going to get to 100 tonight.
He's a guy who's just been rewarded with a 5-year extension that he signed earlier this month. Of course, he signed it not knowing he was going to have the 5 straight 100-yard games.
Yeah,
still, he's told us yesterday he doesn't regret the decision. He likes it here, likes the environment, likes the coaches. This is Duckett. But we've got a flag lying back at the 28.
Personal foul. Grabbing the face mask, number 45. Offense. 15-yard penalty. It's still second down.
That's Mike Sellers, the lead blocker, negating a big gain by T.J. Duckett.
Well, first of all, it was the same play again. This Randy Thomas pulling out and around and coming up through. And then Mike Sellers, the fullback, will try to keep an eye on him. He did grab the face mask right there of Carlos Simmons. And the referee got a good view of it. That is a big, big penalty because now it takes you out of the running game and puts the ball back in the hands of Jason Campbell. When you're going to play fairly conservatively with a young quarterback, can't have those kind of penalties.
And it negated a 15-yard gain. Campbell on 2nd and long completes this one to Chris Cooley. Gets it back to the 28. Picking up a lot of that 21.
Well, we've been talking about Randy Thomas and the job he's been doing against the run. Watch him here at the right guard position right here. This time working against Matthias Kiwanuka coming inside and just basically last second pushes him just enough to allow Jason Campbell to get that throw off.
Campbell now flushed. Campbell, first down Redskins. That's what they like about this kid. That's what they don't get from Brunell.
I tell you what, for the Giants, they have to be thinking, are these quarterbacks greased or what? We just cannot. They're all over Jason Campbell here. I mean, you can't be in a better position to get a sack than what they are, and they just keep missing. That time, Umanura missed the tackle. Antonio Pierce missed the tackle. I mean, Jason Campbell's a good athlete and a good runner, but come on.
Pick up a 15. Big play by Campbell on what was a 3rd and 9. Remember, he had 2nd and 21 following the penalty. This is Betts running up inside. Getting stopped just short of the 10.
Well, Liddell Betts blew that one because he ran to darkness, as they say. They're going to come back inside and get a block here, and yet Liddell Betts doesn't follow the block. If he bounces this one and stays behind Mike Sellers, he's got something really going. He cuts back, and there's nobody to block those guys.
Campbell not going to elude the pressure this time. He is dropped at the 14-yard line.
And Fred Robbins that time got the early pressure, and afterwards he was lying on the ground just like he'd run that thing 90 yards again.
I told you I like Fred's running style, though. It just took him a while to get there.
Yeah, he looked like an Olympic sprinter. Got those knees up high, and he was good, solid for the first 60 yards, and then the Bear got a chunk of him.
Campbell with yet another big 3rd down. He'll throw to this side. Betts footing out from under him. Will come up 5 yards short of the marker.
You know, I think you have to go here. 27-10 gives you 17 points.
That's, you know, in Green Bay, Carolina, Atlanta, and St. Louis, they're saying go for it.
Yeah, I really don't think you have much of a choice here. Your offense is putting together a nice drive. And now you're probably looking at getting Jason Campbell a little bit out of the pocket here. Somehow get him on the edge, give him a two-way go, because his runs have been a big difference on this drive.
He needs 4.
Chris Cooley's in the slot out to the left.
Campbell being flushed. Throws back across into the middle. Touchdown. Betts. He did as you suggested, bought himself some time, and then threw back across the middle to Liddell.
Let's take a look right here and see if the Washington Redskins Don't get away with a little something here. Yeah, a little grab on the shoulder, really not too bad. Pretty good no call in that situation. And for Jason Campbell, his mobility just created that play. All his receivers were off to the left, and he scrambled right. The only guy that was even a potential receiver on that side was Liddell Betts, and he made the play.
Good drive for the Redskins. 11 plays, 69 yards. We've got a 27-14 ball game with 2 minutes to play in the third.
You got everything?
Yeah.
Any bags today?
Not today.
Computers, cell phones, electronic devices. Have your bags, please.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Luggage.
No. Hello. Got it.
Do you have everything?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get started.
With Microsoft software, you've got what you need in the palm of your hand.
Does it make phone calls, too?
NFL Network lets you see the NFL like you've never seen it before. Made by football fans for football fans. The playoffs start next week, and NFL Network is your place for the best news and coverage. Exclusive inside access to the league on NFL Total Access. And the best highlight show on TV, NFL Game Day. You also get the best playoff games re-aired each week right here on NFL Replay. Super Bowl week features 50-plus hours of coverage. All of the press conferences, practices, and events from Miami Beach, site of Super Bowl 41. NFL Network also has the Senior Bowl, Scouting Combine, Training Camp, and nearly every preseason game next August. Live NFL games on Thursday and Saturday Night Football will return to NFL Network next season as well. NFL fans, it's time to make the call. Let your cable operator know you want NFL Network.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by Microsoft, software for the people-ready business.
Jason Campbell just engineered a 69-yard drive to get the Redskins on the board in the second half and cut the margin to 13. He was 5 for 5 on that drive, including the touchdown throw to Liddell Betts.
It was a nice catch by Liddell Betts, too, wasn't it?
Very
nice. That thing right off the turf.
And so Sweezen will kick it away. That's Sonoris Moss at his own 4. And that's Moss that's dropped at the 20. Now we'll get a chance to see what the Giants offense can do, and Tiki Barber coming back on the field. He's up by 13.
Expect more from a value meal. Introducing Wendy's Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat, bacon, and cheese. Or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink. For just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
It sure looked good on paper. But who's going to help you make sure it looks good on stage?
You can watch it with friends. You can watch it alone. With your brothers or significant others. But no matter how you watch or where you watch, NFL Network is there, connecting fans to the NFL unlike any other place on television. So as the season heats up, make NFL Network your football home. NFL Network, football 24/7.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
With 2 minutes left in the third quarter, Washington linebacker Warwick Holdman has gone to the dressing room for x-rays on his shoulder, and that's a big deal because the Redskins only came in here tonight with 4 linebackers suited up.
Yeah, they already lost Marcus Washington, who is probably their best strong linebacker. Now you lose Holdman, so pretty thin at the linebacker position now for the Redskins.
It also lost Kerry Campbell. And this is Barber getting the drive started with a first down and more. And Sean Taylor is flirting with a flag. Yeah, they didn't call it.
There is a flag down back here, though.
It did look like Tiki was out of bounds for a while there before Sean decided to bring him down.
Offense.
This one's coming
10-yard
back.
penalty. Still first down.
And it really doesn't matter who they put over on that left side. They are going to attack him. That time it was Jeff Posey, and they're just coming right after him.
Yeah, he's got a good grip.
Yep. Sure did look like Sean O'Hara on the hold that time. But now for the New York Giants, you've just given up a touchdown. The game's starting to get a little uncomfortable. The crowd's getting in it. You're backed up. This is that New York tough kind of moment now for Eli Manning.
And Jacobs is in, Barber is out.
Oh.
Manning.
That hit Lamar.
Going for Burris. That one never had a chance.
That one hit Lamar Marshall in the backside. He never even saw it. Yeah. Lamar Marshall is going to run right underneath this route here. And it's just going to hit him right in the tush. But again, for Eli Manning, don't get locked in on Plexico Burris. They're going to take away that option. You have to have faith now in somebody else making a play. This is where not having Shockey here is becoming a bigger and bigger deal for this passing game.
They'll give it to Jacobs, playing it conservatively. And Lamar Marshall brings him down. Leave the Giants with a third. Again, this is a big ball game. If the Giants win, they're basically in.
And everybody else is out.
Yeah, these are the gang of 5 you see at the Panthers, Falcons, Rams, and Packers, who are hoping that the Redskins can prevail tonight and give them an opportunity tomorrow to win their way into the playoffs.
Yeah, and, you know, sometimes in ball games you can feel a little momentum shift. And right now you're starting to feel that a little bit if the Redskins can get this ball back. And they've got their pass rushers in. Phillip Daniels in playing tackle instead of end now.
Manning with time completes this one to David Tyree. But he's going to be short of the first down marker. And the Giants are going to give it up on downs.
And the Redskins really catching a break there with the hold and then playing good defense. And what they're doing is taking away Plexico and saying, all right, now with the season on the line, do you have the confidence in Tim Carter and David Tyree and Sonoris Moss and Visante Shenko? Because you can clearly see that Eli wants to go to Plexico. That's where he's comfortable. And somebody else is going to have to win this game for him.
That'll have to be our last play of the third quarter. We'll move to the fourth with the Giants leading 27-14.
It's the most magical time of the year. Experience advanced performance and technology at Acura's Drive Home for the Holidays sales opportunity. Take advantage of special financing on select Acura models for well-qualified customers.
The holiday is over, so return every lame present you got. Pick up the unrated DVD you must own. With hilarious stuff too outrageous for theaters. Jackass #2.
Now available on DVD.
Hi, I'm Leonard Maltin, wishing you a joyous holiday season and a healthy, happy new year, filled with entertaining movies from DirecTV pay-per-view.
NFL Network preview thing still going?
Instant night.
How do we not get this channel? You get 15 shopping channels, and I can't get the NFL Network during the playoffs.
I really wanted to see that America's Game thing on the 68 Jets.
Yeah, well, you can't see it. You go over to one of those shopping networks, I bet you can get a sweater with Weeb Eubank's face on it.
It's time to make the call. Let your cable operator know you want NFL Network.
As we start the fourth quarter, Tom Coughlin's got to be wondering which of his Giants teams he's going to see, the one of the first half of the season or the one of the second in the fourth quarter. Look at this differential. First 8 games, they were the best in the league, but they went from first to worst over the last 7 games in point differential.
And you know, what did Tiki Barber tell us? It struck me when he said, we have been conditioned to expect things to go wrong. And I looked at him and I could barely believe that he said it, but you could see it in his eyes that it had fallen apart so many times this season that he sensed it within his team.
Jeff Fiegels gets it away. Anton Randall will call for the fair catch at his 33. Gives us an opportunity to get you caught up on how we've arrived at 27-14. Jason Campbell, this was the Redskins' last score, but Eli Manning and Tiki Barber and the Giants offense have enjoyed a pretty good night under the guidance of Kevin Gilbride.
Yeah, they really have. They've played well. Now they need to finish it. You know, it's one thing to play well for 3 quarters. You got to come out and finish this deal now. And you have to go back, I think, to that pass interference call on Sean Taylor. You know, was it not? I don't know. But the flop is what drew the call, and that's what bugs me.
The start of a big drive for the Redskins begins with Liddell Betts getting just barely back to the line of scrimmage. You're right. If there has been a momentum swing, you can feel it here. The Giants need to make a stop.
But, you know, the other side of it is now the Washington Redskins need to create something as well. And for Jason Campbell, we've talked about the maturation process of Eli Manning, but for Jason Campbell, he's trying to convince everybody that truly he is the quarterback of the future. And these are the kind of moments you need to deliver if you are the quarterback of the future.
He did it on the last drive. 5 of 5 on a drive of 69 yards. We've got a flag.
Antoine Randall jumped early.
False start, number 82, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Every night, get an insider's perspective and hear directly from the players and coaches. They get ready for the playoffs. You can get it on NFL Total Access weeknights, only on NFL Network.
You know, Jason Campbell is a young man that he was the 3rd quarterback, and I don't know if this is going to make sense or not, but the 3rd quarterback basically makes his throws off a card of the other team's offense. They never get to throw to their receivers, and then all of a sudden he went from 3rd to 1st, and he had absolutely no work with these starting receivers, and is just now starting to develop some chemistry with them.
See how he does on this chem test. Completes it. Anton Randall floated that one in nicely. Randall forced out at the 46-yard line into Giant territory. Jabril Wilson on the coverage. Good throw by Campbell.
And there was a little magic from that young man. Had to buy a little time. They moved the launch spot. He steps up in the pocket, and a very deft touch on this one as he drops it over the top for Antoine Randall who makes the play. You know, Antoine Randall is a young guy they love on this team. So he shows up every day to practice with a smile on his face, loves learning this offense, learning this process, and has been a terrific player for them.
Running up inside, this is Betts getting to the 40. Osi Umenyiora putting a stop to his efforts. This one's coming back. Walt Anderson flagging the Redskins again. This will push him back 5. Completes this one to Randall inside the 40.
We're getting a little magic going between those two guys.
Campbell's getting the job done.
Yeah, the Giants are dropping back in that zone defense. R.W. McQuarters with a big cushion against Randall, as he should have. And they're just working inside between the linebackers. But boy, Jason Campbell now, after that touchdown throw, he's standing tall in the pocket, making some nice throws.
This time he'll give it to Betts. Betts eluding one tackler and getting close to the first down marker. Jabril Wilson taking his feet off from under him a yard short.
Well, Carlos Emmons didn't make the play, but he at least made him bounce wide enough that he couldn't pick up the first down on that one. You'll see Carlos Emmons coming up and getting away from Mike Sellers and just forced him wide enough for Jabril Wilson to come in and make the play. Now we've got a big third down, but you've got to think this is 4-down territory again for the Redskins.
And they've gone to their elephant backfield. T.J. Duckett is positioned behind Mike Sellers. It's the up back Sellers, and would appear to have the first down.
And now this big offensive line starting to assert themselves a little bit. And for Tom Coughlin, you can only imagine what's going through his mind. I mean, so many things on the line for Tom Coughlin. If he wins this game, does he save his job? Some people say he has to win this game and another
one
game.
More.
To save, who knows? I mean, with New York and the press and the pressure that they put on this Giants football team and the way this team has been folding, if they were to fold in this game, I don't even want to think about it.
Jason Campbell has completed his last 7. He's going for 8. Santana Moss, and we've got a flag down in the secondary.
It's going to be illegal contact against the Giants, so this play will stand.
Illegal contact, number 54, defense. Penalty is declined, first down.
And this drive, along with the last one, does make you think about what Barber said about when things go wrong, we just seem to compound it.
Brandon Short working against Chris Cooley makes contact a good 8 yards down the field, and that is a strict 5 yards. But now Santana Moss starting to get in the action. Antoine Randall basically now has balanced the coverage back. He makes a couple of plays, and all of a sudden now Santana Moss doesn't see the double coverage anymore on the other side.
And Duckett is in there once again. First down Redskins. He fakes to Duckett, throws to Moss. Moss gets it inside the 10 down to the 5-yard line. And Jason Campbell working a little bit of magic here on a Saturday night.
And they keep going play action on first down. The Giants are up ready to play the run. They go play action. And Chris Cooley was working it down the field. Santana Moss swings across the field underneath. And it was Cooley's double move that set up the fact that everybody had to chase him, and it opened it up for Moss.
First and goal for the Redskins at the 5. Betts, the lone back. He's following Sellers, looking for a block. Betts, forward progress stopped at the 2.
I don't know if uh-oh is an official NFL term or not, but aren't you starting to get that uh-oh feeling going through the Giants right now?
Uh-oh.
Because, and Tiki Barber, you go back to it, he said, we have been conditioned for some of the failures that have happened to us, and I guarantee you got an uh-oh right there out of Eli. You've got an uh-oh out of Kevin Gilbride, and when the Giants get this thing back on offense, they're going to have to make a play because their defense is getting pushed around right now. Oh, boy.
But will they call that on the Giants?
If the Giants move first and cause the man over him or the man next to the man over him, it will be called on the Giants.
Neutral zone infraction, number 95, defense, half the distance to the goal, it's still second down.
And there's a bit of familiarity to this for Tom Coughlin that he does not like.
And you can see clearly it was Awasam that made the first move there, and then once the flinch occurs, as long as it is the man over or the man next to him, you are going to get it on the defensive side.
Redskins offense looking entirely different than the unit we saw in the first half. This is back. Duckett, touchdown. T.J. Duckett. And just like that, we got an uh-oh situation for the Giants.
We sure do. You're going to get a split here. Fullback going this way, tailback going this way, so that those linebackers can't get a jump on where you're going. You saw Brandon Short that time lean towards the direction of the fullback. That's his read. And then Duckett jams it in off the other side.
And how about Jason Campbell? 2 drives, 11 plays, 69 yards, 9 plays, 66 yards. We're going to see how Eli Manning responds. It's 27-21.
All right, let's do this.
93, 94, 95.
Come on, man.
96.
Live NFL. Drink Diet Pepsi.
He popped another one.
Nissan asks, what's your resolution? More capability, style, power, space. How about saving money during Nissan's National Year-End Sales Event? Save $3,200 on the 2006 Nissan Altima Special Edition. Plus, get up to $1,000 bonus cash on select Nissans on top of all other incentives through January 2nd.
On January 5th,
there's some serious super spy stuff going on here. It's what I do.
When the action's this dangerous, you need a partner this hot.
Woo! Hey, give me that. Stop. That causes shrinkage. I'm special forces, like Black Rambo.
Okay, Blambo.
We go down.
Cedric the Entertainer, Lucy Liu.
Are you just gonna stand there and watch?
Hell yeah.
Codename The Cleaner.
Super spy.
Rated PG-13. Starts January 5th.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by Diet Pepsi. Live NFL. Drink Diet Pepsi. Nissan reminds you to ship the way you move through the world. IBM, what makes you special?
Look at the executive office building, but cross town, Jason Campbell writing himself a bit of lore here at FedEx Field. How about his second half? Engineered 2 drives for 2 touchdowns. One a 9-play drive, the other an 11-play drive.
Now you see why they like him so much. He looks like a quarterback back there too, doesn't he?
He does. Remember, this is a Giants team that blew a 21-0 lead at Tennessee. They were up 27-7 in this one. It's now 27-21, and Moss gets upended at the 23. And it's the Redskins who have all the fire and energy. We'll see if Manning and Barber can respond when we come back.
You don't have to be big to have a big idea, but you might need just a little help pulling it off.
When I signed up for Vonage, I was able to keep my phone number, and then when I moved, I was able to take it with me.
Call quality is the utmost. It projects my business, and with Vonage, it's perfect.
Vonage and reliability, that just kind of goes hand in hand.
It's just $24.99 a month for unlimited local and long-distance calling. Vonage is a better way to phone for less.
Get 1 month free. Call 1-888-350-4VON.
Rated E for everyone. You've always wondered who's behind the mask. The answer is you. When hunger strikes, it's up to you to strike back. Hide, creep, sneak, Sneak King. Make it a gift for $3.99 when you buy any value meal. Only at BK.
Let me ask you this. You ever think about getting a dish?
Co-op board won't let me.
Co-op board? What are we, Soviets?
6 widows and 9 lawyers. I got a better shot of getting a pool put in.
NFL fans, it's time to make the call. Let your cable operator know you want NFL Network.
On the off chance they tuned out and turned in, it's time to rouse the neighbors in Green Bay, Atlanta, Carolina, and St. Louis, because their playoff hopes have gotten a boost lately.
I bet you Brett...
And Eli Manning has come back out, and the numbers have been disappointing, to say the least, in the fourth quarter.
It's not been good lately in the fourth quarter, and I bet you Brett Favre is bouncing off the walls right now.
Big drive for the Giants with 9:21 to play. They'll start it with Barber. And Barber would appear to have a first down. or at least close to it, depends on the spot.
Or we've talked about everything else with Tiki Barber, but sometimes his patience and his vision is his best attribute. That time the hole really wasn't there initially. And then he just sort of waited it out and waited for the blocking to happen. Again, Visante Shenko with a big block inside, and it took a little while to develop it, but Barber had the patience to make that one work.
The crowd at FedEx Field into it now. This is Barber again, and he gets stuffed by Sean Taylor.
Yeah, Jim Finn's going to load up again, and they're going to come with the double team right on the nose tackle right here, try and eliminate him. And then it's up to Jim Finn to just go one-on-one against the linebacker in the hole in there, and that's Lamar Marshall. Lamar Marshall is a guy that they will probably want to upgrade. He used to be a strong safety, then an outside linebacker, probably out of position as a middle linebacker.
He's only 230. He's outweighed by 15 pounds by Finn. This is Barber following Finn again, but not getting much. And Manning will be facing a crucial third down.
The one thing Lamar Marshall can do, though, is run. If he struggles in the passing game and some of those things. But that time he was able to use his speed to kind of beat those offensive linemen around the corner. And now for Kevin Gilbride, every call is a big call from here on out.
Maybe the biggest down of the night for the Giants.
Boy. Go back to, is Eli Manning, is he tough or is he New York tough?
He's going to want to talk about it. Eli brought him up, didn't like what he saw, and has decided to have a chat with Kevin Gilbride.
That time Sean Taylor came up on the end of the line of scrimmage, and I don't think Eli felt like he had it protected on that side, and so he had to come out of it. Sean Taylor's going to walk up over here to this bunch formation. Right here he is, and now you've got a short corner coming off of this side, and that's going to make Eli take a time out there. They didn't have that protected.
The Giants led in this ball game 27-7, but the Redskins have come out in this second half and found some offense. Jason Campbell leading the Redskins on 2 lengthy drives, cut the margin to 6. As the Giants offense has stumbled of late. And so Manning and company left with what is their biggest down of the night, 3rd and 5, to keep this drive alive.
And you're going to get a double team on Burris or pressure. One of those two things. And if he gets man coverage on the outside, which here comes the pressure.
Taylor's coming. He's picked up. Manning has time. Throwing in and out of the arms of David Tyree, but we've got a flag in the secondary. Oh.
Boy, that is...
Number 25, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And an automatic first down, so it wasn't pass interference. I didn't think it was, but you're going to get a hold right out here.
It's a good call.
And that's what they're going to pick up there for the penalty. You could see that Kenny Wright came back and made the play, but they got the hold early, and what a huge call in favor of the New York Giants.
And we've talked about who the Giants are missing. The Redskins, Kenny Wright is in there because Sean Springs is on IR. That's usually where Springs would be. And so the Giants drive is alive, and Barber will pick up 5 on first down. Ball's free.
And the one official holding up 2 fingers, which means it's second down. I don't know if he was called down by contact or if they saw that they recovered the ball, but it is still Giants football.
It's Kareem McKenzie appears to have, yes, he was down.
Yeah.
Kareem McKenzie, 67, appears to be the Giant who got down on it.
Yeah, and Troy Vincent's going to kick this one out after the fact, clearly after Barber was on the ground, no question.
Good pickup on first down for the Giants. They've moved it to midfield. Barber. First down Giants. Barber. Touchdown Giants. Tiki Barber breaking the tackle of Troy Vincent, finding off the right side, a 50-yard dash.
Tiki Barber again is going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be almost completely stopped there trying to run behind the block of Sean O'Hara. But the acceleration of this guy, the ability to break tackles at 200 pounds, simply remarkable. What a night it has been for Tiki Barber. He has dominated this game from beginning to end. He said, give me a chance, give me the ball, and Kevin Gilbride has done exactly that tonight, and he may have awakened the New York Giants.
On their biggest drive of the year, the Giants move out in front, 34-21. 50-yard touchdown dash.
There were two options: change the road or change the SUV. Introducing the Acura MDX with super handling all-wheel drive. Technology takes it to a whole new place. Acura. Advance.
Hi, Holly. So, do you want to make 50 bucks the easy way? I'll make 50 bucks just for turning you on to this. It's a 50-50 offer. You get to dump unreliable cable and fall in love with DirecTV. Plus, you get a DVD player and 50 bucks. And I get 50 bucks. What's not to love?
Sign up your friends, and you'll both make 50 bucks. Go to directtv.com/refer.
So, do you want to make 50 bucks the easy way?
Earth-shaking. Groundbreaking. NBA League Pass on DirecTV will shatter your expectations with up to 40 games a week of unbelievable action. Basketball like you've never seen it before. Order NBA League Pass on DirecTV. Visit directtv.com or call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
I'm Brian Billick, and you're watching NFL Network.
Get autographed NFL stuff and give back. Bid for a cause. NFLauction.nfl.com.
What a night for Tiki Barber. Touchdown runs of 15, 55, and that last one for 50 has given him 227 for the night. And yes, you see it right there, a franchise record. And he's boosted the Giants to a more comfortable 34-21 lead with just 6:13 to play. And while we were away, a flag was dropped, roughing penalty on Gray Rugemer, as pushed assessed on the kickoff. And so the Giants will put this one in play from the 15.
Doesn't it just seem logical that Tiki Barber, your best player, gets the football? And for what has been this entire streak that the Giants have been on, it seems like the offense has started somewhere else. I just couldn't figure out whether they saving him for Good Morning America or wherever he's going. I don't know where he's going, but
that's probably not a bad guess.
Hey, really? I don't know.
Wouldn't you think?
He'll be good at whatever he does, but I sure would like to watch him play football a little while longer. He can always do that other stuff.
Well, whatever happens, the Redskins figure to have decent field position here because Cartwright feels it at his 20, but he's not going to get much. Gets back to the 32.
Well, we've had some big plays and some big penalties in this ball game. Remember the penalty on Sean Taylor and the flop on that play, and that led to the Tim Carter touchdown. If he made the flop, might as well. And then you come back the other way on third down. It would have been the end of that drive, and you get the holding call there, and then Tiki Barber busts one off to open up a bit of a margin here, but still 6 minutes remaining, and the Redskins have been moving the football themselves.
Jason Campbell enjoying a great second half. He'll start this one with a give inside to Liddell Betts. And by the way, while I have a chance, let me just make note that we do not have indigestion up here. We've had a mic open somewhere, and we've heard a couple of noises that were not of our doing, shall we say.
Thank you. I was wondering if those ribs impacted you a little more than I knew.
Either that or I'm a great ventriloquist. Campbell throwing wide this side for Antoine Randall. He brought it in before being forced out at the 46 by R.W. McQuarters.
Yeah, and Brandon Lloyd not in this game tonight, and boy, is Antoine Randall taking advantage of it. But for Jason Campbell, he's made some really big league throws here in the last quarter or so. This is by far the best I've seen him play. He looked pretty good last week against the Rams. They gave him a chance to open it up a little bit. And now tonight they're opening up even more because they got behind, and he's really playing well.
He's 17 of 22 for 167 on the night. Buying some time and throwing this one away.
Last couple of drives for Jason Campbell has had a chance to go play action on early downs. Of course, made the huge play with his legs, escaping everybody on about a 3rd and 9, and then rolls around and finds Liddell Betts in the end zone for the touchdown. And then the next drive, you could really see that Al Saunders started getting comfortable with his quarterback throwing out of the pocket. And when a young guy starts seeing the field the way Jason Campbell is right now, well, he looks like a veteran and not a guy in his 2nd year.
He's facing a 2nd and 10 here. And again, showing a touch this side to Santana Moss. And the Giants are claiming he was out, but they're going to give him the catch and the first down.
It was close. You never know. Does he double catch this one? That's the only question. Caught it cleanly, sort of trapped it against his body.
Yeah, but it didn't juggle.
It didn't bobble. I agree with you. I think that's a clean catch. He drags both feet. You're going to get a challenge out of Tom Coughlin.
On the field of a completed pass.
Now, these are always tough on the sideline, but I thought he trapped it against his leg and secured it.
Well, Walt Anderson will go into the hood. We'll find out the verdict when we come back.
Nissan asks, what's your resolution? More power, space, capability. How about saving money during Nissan's National Year-End Sales Event? Get $2,750 Nissan cash back or 1% financing on the Titan King Cab. Plus, get up to $1,000 bonus cash on select Nissans on top of all other incentives through January 2nd.
NFL Network lets you see the NFL like you've never seen it before. Made by football fans for football fans. The playoffs start next week, and NFL Network is your place for the best news and coverage. Exclusive inside access to the league on NFL Total Access. And the best highlight show on TV, NFL Game Day. You also get the best playoff games re-aired each week right here on NFL Replay. Super Bowl week features 50-plus hours of coverage. All of the press conferences, practices, and events from Miami Beach, site of Super Bowl 41. NFL Network also has the Senior Bowl, Scouting Combine, Training Camp, and nearly every preseason game next August. Live NFL games on Thursday and Saturday Night Football will return to NFL Network next season as well. NFL fans, it's time to make the call. Let your cable operator know you want NFL Network.
The countdown continues.
We were actually fighting for the #1 job. Well, I told Coach Landry, if you don't have the confidence in me, you need to think about having me go somewhere else.
America's game.
Tom Coughlin has challenged the ruling on the field. Although we don't get a vote, we think it's a catch.
Yeah, I thought it was. It looked like that his foot was dragging, and even though the ball moved out of the second hand, it was still trapped, and then that front leg dragged in, so both feet are down. See if you can see his right leg now. I think he's going to drag it all the way through the end of that catch and makes it a completion. And even though you don't see the
ruling on the field stands. New York is charged in 6 seconds. Timeout.
And even though you didn't see the ball in that second shot, they can use a combination of shots to determine A, was the catch good, B, were the feet down, and that time the combination of those shots definitively showed that it was a completion.
Big call. Had that been overturned, Redskins would be looking at a 3rd and 10 from the 48. Instead, they've got a first down.
Yeah, and really still plenty of time, but they need to crank it up here just a little bit. They need to stay in a little bit of a hurry-up pace, and for Jason Campbell, you wonder how much experience he has in that sort of 2-minute offense. It's been a couple of months now, though. I'm sure he's practiced it some.
Redskins still have all their timeouts. He'll screen this one to Betts. Betts with blockers in front. Betts crossing the 20. Betts to the 5. This one was set up perfectly.
Great call there by Al Saunders. They're just going to all drop back in a zone. McWhorter's out on the outside, and then you get those big offensive linemen in front, and you've got a problem now defensively. That time, sort of a prevent look out of the New York Giants, and gave up a lot of room on that screen.
And Betts has gone to the sidelines for a breather. T.J. Duckett is in the backfield behind Sellers. Duckett will get it and run right into the arms of O.C. Umenyiora.
Well, O.C. Umenyiora and these defensive ends, they can't grab hold of quarterbacks, but they do a pretty good job on running backs.
Of course, Duckett's kind of hard to miss at 255.
You know, and T.J. Duckett is one of those guys that is sort of like Ron Dane. You know, I mean, he's a 250-pound guy, but he sort of has the mentality of a halfback instead of a fullback. They brought him here thinking that he could be that big short yardage and goal line guy, but it's really not who he is.
Loss of 4 on the play. Betts is checked back in. Completing this one to Cooley. He gets it to the 1. A lot of poise being shown by Campbell. He got a fierce rush off his left side, stepped up and hit Cooley.
Good job again by Jason Campbell. That time Carlos Emmons coming with some pressure on a linebacker blitz. They go zone blitz. They bring everybody from the right side, and then they drop Matthias Kiwanuka off the other side in a zone. So basically you have Chris Cooley working inside against a defensive end.
And it would have Washington's first time out, first of their 3. Coming up next, it's the Home Depot post-game show. Join the entire Total Access crew. They're going to have a full game recap and some post-game interviews too. Rich, Steve, Dion, and Marshall will be along.
This game just refuses to wrap itself up, does it? It's just the Washington Redskins have been virtually unstoppable here in the second half behind Jason Campbell.
Duckett, fake to Duckett. There's Sellers. Touchdown Redskins.
Man, oh man, they send Mike Sellers in motion out of the backfield, and the Giants were so convinced that they were going to come with Duckett up the middle. They just completely blew the coverage. Nobody went with him. And Tiki Barber said, what do I have to do to wrap this game up? I mean, that was a quick march down the field, and we still have 3:22 to go.
8 plays, 68 yards. Sways them on for the extra point, and the Redskins are still in this one. You called it. They came out with a full house backfield. Sellers goes in motion to the top of the screen, and he is wide open.
They just missed it. The safety moved over on the play, and he decided that he still had Chris Cooley, the tight end, coming out, and literally nobody goes with Mike Sellers, just a blown coverage.
And so the Redskins still find themselves down by 6, but they still have a lot of time. What they've got to do is manage to stop a Giants offense that and Tiki Barber, who's had his own way all night.
They have to stop the run, and I think at this point you have to say, okay,
make Eli beat you.
That's right. Eli Manning, if you can beat us throwing the football, you don't have Shockey, you don't have your receivers here, let's go ahead and load up against the run, and if Eli beats you, so be it.
Meanwhile, Jason Campbell, 3 lengthy drives in the second half, 1 of 11 plays, 1 of 9 plays, this last one of 8 plays. This kid is showing an awful lot tonight.
Yeah, he really is, and this is really his coming out party. I thought was a little bit last week. They only have about 20% of this offense in of Al Saunders. They wanted to really simplify things. Joe Gibbs said, let's make sure we get this kid protected, get him comfortable back there in the pocket. And then you can see the growth start now. They're starting to open up, let him throw the ball down the field, which he does very well.
If you're Gilbride, do you still keep it in the hands of Tiki, no matter what they come out in, or do you entrust it to Eli?
Well, you know,
it's the most important 3 minutes of your season.
Yeah, I think that I probably would not go run early on, though. I might go play action here on first down, because you know the Washington Redskins are thinking the exact same thing, that Tiki's been killing us, and we've got to stop him.
Sonoris Moss getting it across the 25 to the 28, and Tiki comes back on the field with 3:18 to play. What a night. Tiki Barber's had 21 carries, 227 yards. This was his first touchdown, a 15-yard romp. Then in the second period, this one for 55 yards. And then his last one was a 50-yarder off the left side. He has a franchise record, 227 yards to go with his 3 touchdowns.
And I think Tom Coughlin says now, I have to win it with my offense. My defense is completely collapsed. I cannot give the football back to the Washington Redskins.
They'll give it to Barber on first down, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's when a little change up there might have been a pretty good idea. That time, a lot of Giants in a pile. Chris Nee coming up slowly. Jim Finn coming up slowly. Tiki Barber looks a little uncomfortable. They all kind of ran into each other on that one. But Giants, again, they didn't go play action there on first down. The Redskins anticipated run, and the Giants stayed conservative with that one.
The Giants go to a double tight end as Darcy Johnson comes into the ball game.
Not conservative now. They've spread everybody out.
That's Burris in the slot, and Barber is wide left. He's looking for Burris. Incomplete. Carlos Rogers on the coverage. Burris wanted a flag, and that'll stop the clock at 2:33.
Well, they got what they wanted. They got Plexico Burris in one-on-one coverage, but Carlos Rogers just makes the play. He knows what's coming, and you're going to say, is that pass interference? And it's close, but he's allowed to break for the football there. He's allowed to try and go for it himself, and the referees let that one go.
Huge down for the Giants, 3rd and 10.
That incomplete pass, too, stopped the clock.
He's got Burris this side, but this is Barber. He's going to be short of the first down. The Redskins will take over on downs.
And you just get the feeling that they didn't quite trust Eli in that situation. You know, here he is. He's your franchise quarterback. It's 3rd and 9, and you just don't quite trust him.
And the Redskins have burned their second timeout, stopping the clock with 2:26 to go in this ball game.
I'm sure Eli is wondering the same thing. Hey, Kevin, now, you know what? You're paying me a lot of money here. I've been playing pretty well here tonight. And now you're going to turn the ball over with an eternity left on that clock. And now we have a lot of teams around the NFL in Green Bay and St. Louis and Atlanta and Carolina who, if the Redskins can stick it in here in this final 2:26, it gets wild on Sunday.
Jason Campbell could be a very popular man in those towns.
I think that one started with that first down run. And the Giants stuffed that, and then just all the momentum shifted their way.
And Antoine Randall at the 24-yard line has been a big play guy throughout his career.
Don't forget the Redskins blocked a punt last week, too. Set up the return here.
He'll field it, and he's dropped at the 21 by Jason Bell. And once again, with 2:18 to play, this is the gang of 5. The Giants on top, but the Packers, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Rams behind them. What they all need, what they all have in common, they need the Giants to lose tonight. And then there are a whole bunch of factors that come into play, but their playoff chances are alive.
And all those teams play on the road, so it is not inconceivable in this crazy year of the NFC where no one appears to want that 6th playoff spot, that they could all lose and that the Giants could back into the playoffs. But they're not thinking that right now. They're thinking we have to come up with a stop, and they have not been good on defense for about a quarter and a half here. The Redskins have just had their way.
Jason Campbell, 16 of 18 in the second half. Campbell pumps over the middle, throws low to Betts. That'll stop the clock at 2:13.
The time Jason Campbell just didn't quite trust. They had a play set up to Antoine Randall coming out of the backfield late there, and he just didn't like what he saw and pulled the thing back down. I think he had a chance to get it. You know, I wouldn't be afraid to come back to that play. If you can get a guy like Antoine Randall, one of the best punt returners in the game, in some open space with the way the Giants are dropping out of here, he could create a big play.
They're big play guys. Santana Moss is split wide to Campbell's right. He goes the other way. and throws high for David Patton.
You know, we talked about the nice touch that he had on the last one. There we needed to see the arm strength. He tried to float that one in, and you just can't do that in this league. Jason Bell is going to come over the top from the safety position. He had room to sling that one in, but when he floated it, it just gave Bell way too much time to get there.
And we see so many dumb penalties. Let's give Jason Bell a little pat on the back there. He could have tried to light Patton up and would have drawn a flag, but pulled off. And so Campbell now and the Redskins facing a crucial third down. Last play before the 2-minute warning. Campbell, incomplete, was trying for David Patton. He comes up looking for a flag, but there's none on the field.
Boy, and I'm not sure I quite understand all of this. David Patton on back-to-back routes is going to be the guy you're going to go to. You've got a huge night out of Antoine Randall. You obviously have one of the best receivers in the game in Santana Moss. Chris Cooley is your favorite target, and on back-to-back plays you go to David Patton.
And so Joe Gibbs has little choice but to go for it on 4th and 10 with just 1 second left before the 2-minute warning. This is the ball game for the Redskins. Campbell was going for Randall L.
I think Jabril Wilson.
And that looked like Jabril Wilson who jumped in there.
I think Jabril Wilson at the last second got a hand on that one. What a great play by Jabril Wilson.
2 minutes to play in the game. Giants in front by 6.
Here's the stretch. They say that in life, there's only room for one great passion. Unless you're really clever. Viagra. Viagra can help guys with all degrees of erectile dysfunction, from mild to severe.
Before taking Viagra, make sure you're healthy enough to have sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain because it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injuries, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away. Viagra is one of several ED treatments you and your doctor can consider.
Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
We are a family.
Not in this life.
I got a bad feeling. Oh, my dead body.
NFL Network, football 24/7.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite, good call. Vonage, a better way to phone for less.
Back in Washington, where Joe Gibbs is about to conclude what he told us the most miserable 5 months of his professional life. A lot of people had high hopes for the Redskins coming into the season, but they just haven't played well at all.
No,
on either side of the ball.
They really haven't. And I think the bigger surprise is the way this defense has played. But right now, with only 1 timeout remaining, tough spot now for the Redskins.
Brandon Jacobs gets the call. With both arms around it, he's brought down. And the Redskins will burn their last timeout. This Sunday night, Steve Mariucci, Deion Sanders join host Rich Eisen to give you the complete playoff picture, who's in and out. It's been New Year's Eve, NFL Game Day, 11:30 Eastern, only on NFL Network. You know, I've kept the personal wishes out of this for 5 weeks, but I do want to send along personal best to Bobby Mercer.
Yeah.
Great ball player and a good friend and a great New York broadcaster. Bobby was diagnosed with a brain tumor on Christmas Eve and underwent brain surgery. And we just want to send along our prayers to Bobby and his wife, Kay. Our well wishes for them. They're good people. They're really good people. Hang in there, Bobby. The Redskins will not be able to stop the clock again. Jacobs will get it. And Jacobs, oh, there's a face mask. Lamar Marshall grabbed the hole and just did not let go.
Now, Brandon, don't do anything foolish back. The game is now over. If you don't get a penalty, the game is now over.
Lamar grabbed it and just did not let go.
15 on top of it. But
personal foul. Grabbing the face mask, number 98, defense. Half the distance to go, first down.
And so now we can show the graphic if the Giants win, and now we can assume that they are going to. They are in, essentially. But to make it complete, they need Green Bay to lose to the Bears, or the Giants would have to win the strength of victory tiebreaker over Green Bay.
And a whole bunch of stuff has to break.
A whole bunch of other stuff would have to break for Green Bay to beat
Green Bay, right.
Yes.
But for Tom Coughlin, for Eli Manning, for so many of these New York Giants, they have now found a way to come in here. I'm surprised they're handing this thing off. But whatever. Maybe I ought to just hold off. I'm not going to jinx this football team.
Does this save Coughlin's job? What do you think? Is it enough?
This is pretty impressive. I have to say, this is really, really impressive. He makes the bold move for Kevin Gilbride. He comes back in here, and this team gets it done on the offensive end, because really that has been the question mark on my mind. You've got Eli Manning, you've got Tiki Barber, and can Eli play well enough? Is he good enough? And did they give the ball to Tiki Barber? All those answers seem to be settled a little bit tonight with Kevin Gilbride calling the plays.
And they heard you. Now they'll take a knee.
Yeah.
They didn't need another Pizarchik-Zonka moment.
Yes, a good idea.
And so Eli, despite a bunch of troubles, will find himself in the postseason. For how long remains to be seen.
Yeah, we're not quite sure, playing either Philadelphia or Dallas, depending on how that breaks out. But this was a moment, this was a moment where it was really the burden fell on Eli Manning, and Kevin Gilbride was smart enough to let him get settled behind Tiki Barber.
And some Redskins upset with Finn's aggressiveness on what amounted to a kneel down that is going to end this ball game. And so they're exchanging holiday wishes.
And Basante Shanko pointing towards his bicep, and well he should, because he had a big part of this one too.
But the night really belongs to Tiki Barber. 23 carries, a franchise record, 234 yards on the ground. You see it, 258 total yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on long runs. Tiki Barber extending his career for at least one more ball game.
And it was a fantastic effort. Give credit to the guys up front. They were unsettled on the offensive line coming in. David Deal, Gray Rugemer flip-flopping. They got it done as well.
Hey, partner, it's been fun. Happy New Year.
Really enjoyed it.
You and Holly and the kids take care.
Thanks.
Our final from Washington is the Giants 34, the Redskins 28. For all the good folks at NFL Network, I'm Bryant Gumbel. Good night from FedEx Field.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the National Football League on NFL Network.
How long is this thing?
I don't know.
Now, come on, get to the good stuff.
Oh, stop. There it is.
Oh, that's it.
Wait, here it comes, Nice. Look at that.
I could watch that all day.
One more time?
Sure.
$2.99. Expect more from a value meal. $2.99. Get Wendy's new Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat, or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
Hey, Stu, I need you to track down a couple files. This is from 1970 something, somewhere in Asia. Good luck. Also, this from finance. That's what, 8 mergers ago. Could be anywhere. I'm gonna grab lunch. Call me when you got it.
Got it.
Right, see ya.
No, I mean, I got it.
Right. Call me when you get them both.
Got them both. I'll just put them on the team site so we can get started while you're at lunch.
With the right software, there's no such thing as a needle in a haystack.
Expect more from a value meal. Get Wendy's new Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all-white meat or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
Okay, let's review. Sarah, you got the new cherry chocolate phone.
Thanks, Daddy.
Keith, you got the new Envy. And you both got the network. What'd Dad get?
Aftershave.
No, Dad got hosed.
You can still get what you really want at Verizon Wireless. VCast phones by LG like the Envy, the Chocolate, or these two fully loaded VCast phones for just $49.99. Verizon Wireless, it's the network.
If you can lift, you get your butt in there and let's lift. Let's do this thing, Toto. Up, come on, rock and roll, baby. Rock it out. Booyah, up. Come on, meathead. Up.
Live coverage of the 2007 NFL Combine starts February 24th, only on NFL Network.
Saturday Night Football on NFL Network is brought to you by Nissan, who reminds you to shift the way you move through the world. Wendy's, get in the middle of flavor. Do Wendy's new double melt and do what tastes right. Welcome to the Home Depot post-game show. You can do it. We can help.
And welcome to the Home Depot post-game show. The final game of Tiki Barber's career in the regular season, and a must-win game for the New York Giants here at FedEx Field. Liddell Betts was the one who came out running the ball well until he put the ball in the turf. And big old Fred Robbins starts rumbling the other way. Runs out of gas, however. And the Giants have to settle for 3 points. And that's when the Redskins started asserting themselves. Liddell Betts coming back with a 21-yard gain into Giants territory, holding on to the ball when Antoine Randall L. off the reverse, up top to Santana Moss. Touchdown, Deion Sanders.
Santana makes the good play. Great adjustment on the ball. Santana, known as a big play receiver, truly came through tonight.
So how would the Giants respond down 7-3 in this game? Eli Manning hits Plexico Burris for 14 yards on 3rd and 9. 2 plays later, Tiki Barber from the 15 takes it in for his 3rd touchdown of the year, beginning a large night for him. 10-7 Giants up. Next possession of the Giants, 8th play of the possession. Tiki Barber for 11 yards, and then Marshall Faulk, he takes it to the house from 55 yards out.
You know what, Rich? The Giants offensive line came out and made a statement in this game. They opened some holes for Tiki that was outstanding tonight.
55 yards, his longest run of the season. Giants up 10, and right before the end of the half, 18 ticks left. Mooch, have you ever heard of a double pass interference before?
No, initially I thought there might be 2 flags, one on each team, but there was one and it was offsetting.
And it led to a field goal for the Giants, 20-7 in the 3rd quarter. Jason Campbell got things going for the Redskins until this particular play, picked off by Jason Bell, and the Giants looking for the dagger, although it seemed at the time, and Manning looks for Tim Carter. Pass interference on Sean Taylor, Deion.
I saw the matchup when they came out of the huddle. That was a mismatch. They saw Sean Taylor out there. They checked off right to that play.
And then go back to Carter the next play. And the Giants up 20, but this network saw a big comeback in the Inside Bowl last night. And tonight, here come the Redskins. Chris Cooley converting on 3rd and 3. 3 plays later, Campbell looking like Vince Young at the end of the Titans-Giants game on 3rd and 9.
Very steady game. He was 21 out of 31. He had the 1 interception, but after that, he was very, very smart and efficient.
And then on 4th and 4, the Redskins have to go for it down 20, and they not only pick up the first down, they pick up the touchdown to Liddell Betts, 27-14. Next possession for the Redskins. Campbell hits Antoine Randall L, 24 yards. Nice touch pass there.
Oh, what a pretty pass by the game kid.
4 plays later, Campbell hits Santana Moss for a 17-yard gain. 3 plays later, it's T.J. Duckett taking it in, and it's 27-21.
We have a ball game.
Next Giants possession, Manning to David Tyree. Incomplete, but it's a penalty, a holding penalty before.
Right there.
Yeah, it's a holding penalty and on Kenny Wright, and it's a fresh set of downs for the Giants, and that means fresh sets of downs for Tiki Barber to what, Deion?
do what he does.
50 yards, break and tackles, third touchdown of the night. 234 career-high rushing yards on just 23 carries for number 21. And the Giants take a 34-21 lead, but here comes Jason Campbell right back, hits Mike Sellers on 2nd and 10. Pardon me, he hits Santana Moss on the sidelines. And the next play, Liddell Betts picking up 34 yards. Nice screen here.
Right there, that was a great call by Al Saunders. Caught the Giants blitzing, ran the screen.
And now here's the wide open Mike Sellers for the touchdown, and it's 34-28. And after a 3-and-out by the Giants, the Redskins have a chance to go down and win this game. But on 4th and 10 with just over 2 minutes to go, the pass for Campbell to Randall L is tipped away, and the New York Giants breathe a sigh of relief that they don't suffer yet another fourth quarter collapse as they've suffered in much of the last half of this season, and they go on to win. Again, Tiki Barber, 234 yards on 23 carries. That is a first down for every single touch that he had, and a big night for Eli Manning, getting it done in a game the Giants needed.
So the playoffs are almost a certainty for you now. What does this win do for the confidence of this team after the last 7 8 games?
Well, this is a big win, and you got to give credit to Washington. They played a great game. You know, I thought a couple of times we had it, and then they kept fighting and made it to a heck of a game. So it was a big win for us to come out and to play well in the fourth quarter and get some great touchdowns. Tiki Barber, can't say enough. Some great runs. Our offensive line guys making plays when we needed it. So it's a big win. Hopefully everything will work out. We can be playing next week.
You said all this week that this offense needed a spark. What was that spark that made the difference tonight?
Well, we ran the ball. You know, we had some big plays in the run. We had we threw the ball decently, had some pass interferences, changed the field position. So our guys fought and made some big plays. Offensive line dominated up front. So, you know, defense played well enough, got us some turnovers, good field position, and get some key points. So it was a big win. Our offense finally got going, scored some points, so hopefully we can keep that up.
Can you believe he's going to retire after this season, after this kind of night?
I know. Well, you know, at least we, you know, last game of the season, and, you know, playing a rival team, he ended it the way it should be. So we just got to keep it going into the playoffs, and hopefully he can stay hot, and this offense, this team can stay hot.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
And Adam Schefter joining us here on the Home Depot post-game show. So the Giants win. They are 8-8, and barring an unlikely set of events that play out tomorrow and the rest of Week 17, the Giants will be the 6th seed at either Philadelphia or the Dallas Cowboys. Tom Coughlin is at the podium.
I better shut up before I say something that... Outstanding football game. You know, well blocked to get him to a point, and then obviously, I mean, he just was not going down. I mean, on more than one of those runs, he had people on his shoulders and on his back and on his legs, and he just kept right on going. So
was that the game plan today? Be more committed to the run to get him more involved.
The game plan was mix the ball, run and pass. We had great success. Obviously, I thought one of the key plays was the score. You know, 2nd down and 10, we ran it in the end zone down at the far end for a touchdown after we had thrown the ball on 1st down. Comes up 2nd and 10, we ran the ball off the left side and right in the end zone. I thought that was a big play in the game. But the game plan was to obviously have good mix, run and pass. And we had success with the run. There were long runs. There were some long runs, obviously. But outstanding numbers.
Coach, can you talk about your defense in the first half where you got a bunch of 3-and-outs and they gave you some pretty good field position to work with?
Well, I thought that was the key. I think that, to be honest with you, I think our whole team feeds off when the defense gets the other guy off the field. And when that happened, we seemed to gain a little momentum. Of course, we had turnovers. We had a couple turnovers that ended up being touchdowns, which was big. But, you know, we were able to get them out on a few occasions, not often in the second half, but often enough to win.
You think tonight, Tom, is enough to turn this around and get this going now? More confidence?
Well, why don't we just wait and see after? Let's enjoy this game.
Tom,
and we'll
the
see.
team was playing for your job tonight?
No.
Tom, you feel like
I don't even think the team even thinks about that. And I don't even think about it either. So I hope that's the last question I'm asked about that.
Coach, what was your...
To you and this team, you're probably very likely in the playoffs after all that's gone on, all the losing the last game.
Well, we're counting on being in the playoffs. That's what we played for. That's exactly what all this was about. You know, we tried very much to put that last one aside as fast as we could and focus on winning in, you know, which is exactly the way we went about it. So I'm counting on being in.
They got out 21 points and got within 6. You got the ball back at your 24. You ran Tiki 5 out of 6 times, and then he popped it. Did you tell your new play caller, give it to 21?
No, it was just the way the game went and the good mixture. And to be honest with you, we had some success into the blitz early on. Then they really stopped coming and played more coverage after we hurt them, particularly at the end of the first half. They played more coverage. And I think that's when, that was the result of them being in coverage and we were pounding the ball.
He has a lot of great games, but Tiki against the Redskins.
Certainly very timely, wasn't it? Yeah, the first game against the Redskins was a tremendous performance, which I believe he cited, and certainly tonight was as well.
Coach, what was your message to the team either before the game or last night when you last met with him?
That's, we've had many messages and many times when we've tried to pull our week together at the end of the week, and this was no different. We had a solid week of practice. I talked continuously about, it doesn't take a whole lot sometimes to get the thing going the way you want it to go, but certainly it has to be, all 3 areas in phase together. And we had some quite serious heart-to-hearts this week, and we had a good one last night again, and fortunately, the players responded.
What about Eli Manning's performance?
Played well. Eli played very well.
You allowed 28 points to a team that has 5 wins and was a drive away from evening the game up or going ahead. You sound as if things...
Is that supposed to be a negative?
Yeah, you sound as
if
it's vindicated.
Who's vindicated?
Tonight.
We won a game and we got in the playoffs.
Okay.
Is that good enough? Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That's a nice question.
What was the effect of Gilbride tonight?
He did a good job. It was a nice mix, and we were able. I don't know if you've been following the Redskins closely, but they've played an awful lot of close games with a ton of yardage, and either won a game or lost a game, nip and tuck along the way. If you want to go head-to-head on the statistics, I'll be glad to go with you.
Tom, can you just talk about just the relief after the weather?
No relief. Those are words that you use.
So Tom Coughlin leaving the podium, a nice little New York exchange in the media right over there. You know what I'm saying? You feel vindicated, Coach. Right back at you. So at 8-8, we will not have a 7-9 playoff team in the National Football League for the first time. As Tom Coughlin strides down from the podium right there. You ever have one of those moments, Steve? In a post game, somebody asks you a question like that?
Yeah, often. And you just have to.
Yeah.
You just bite your tongue sometimes and moonwalk sometimes, and he was
moonwalk, Steve.
And wasn't that me asking you the question too, Mooch, when you had that moment?
When did you ask me that?
I'm always harassing you.
You're a
nice.
mongerer.
Well, Tiki Barber, I mean, breaking his own career high, his own franchise best rushing record. Think about that, Marshall. You don't have to do the math. It's not very difficult. 23 rushes, 234 yards. Every time he touched the ball, and he touched it 23 times out of the backfield, it was a first down on average.
It's special. And when you think about what Tiki Barber was doing tonight, I know we came out and we said a lot of things that he said in the media and that he's done or what he's not going to do anymore. But tonight, as a leader, he spoke with his action, and his team followed him. They followed him, and he carried the load tonight.
This was a storybook ending. This is the way you truly desire to ride off into the sunset. The type of game with a victory. You carried the ball 23 times. You broke a record. I mean, unbelievable. You couldn't have written this script any better.
Well, the way he would like to ride off into the sunset eventually is the way the last guy who scored 3 touchdowns in his final game as a regular season player in the National Football League did. Jerome Bettis did that last year, and the only other guy than Tiki Barber tonight to ever do it since the merger is Sterling Sharp in '94.
Yeah, I was
there.
So
the NBC crew on fire. If you think about it.
And Bob Costas did it one year when he was playing flag football. Right? No.
I don't think we have stats for that particular contest. The Nissan next generation players to watch in this game is predicted by you guys. Again, we always try to take guys who are off the radar. Obviously, Tiki Barber would have been one of the guys to watch, but you chose 3 Washington Redskins, and Jason Campbell and Liddell Betts almost got it done for the Redskins, but the Giants were too much. The defense held at the end, and Tiki Barber ran wild as they win tonight. We'll be right back.
The Home Depot postgame show is brought to you by the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. Verizon Wireless. Watch John Madden break down the games exclusively on VCast, only from Verizon Wireless.
Don't forget about us, Stevie.
With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
Okay, let's review. Sarah, you got the new cherry chocolate phone.
Thanks, Daddy.
Keith, you got the new Envy. And you both got the network. What'd Dad get?
Aftershave.
No, Dad got hosed.
You can still get what you really want at Verizon Wireless. VCast phones by LG like the Envy, the Chocolate, or these two fully loaded VCast phones for just $49.99. Verizon Wireless, it's the network.
If you can lift, you get your butt in there and let's lift. Let's do this thing, Toto. Up, come on, up, rock and roll, baby. Hit boy, work it out. Booyah, up. Come on, meathead. Up.
Live coverage of the 2007 NFL Combine starts February 24th, only on NFL Network.
I'm Tom Coughlin. You're watching NFL Network.
NFL Game Day, the Week 17 version. Mooch, and Prime have wheels up 6 a.m. Eastern flight to go home to do this and hang with us on New Year's Eve. Will you please? 11:30 Eastern Time. We'll get you set for your wild card weekend because the playoff picture will be complete by that point. Join us on NFL Game Day. As for the NFC wild card race, there is no joy in Mudville and Carolina, Atlanta, and St. Louis. With the Giants win tonight, the Panthers, Falcons, and Rams have been eliminated. The only way the Packers can win is if they beat Chicago and either Arizona. Here's what must happen. Arizona must win at San Diego. Detroit must win at Dallas. Miami must win at Indianapolis. Should I go on?
Either ors?
No, these all have to happen.
Oh, all of them. It's a wrap.
Yeah, Minnesota has to win at home. San Francisco must win at Denver. I mean, on.
I must win an Emmy.
And on.
Yeah. You might do that, Joel.
And on. Nice. Well done. Let's check on the most colorful fans.
Hey, Chuck. I need access to data.
Okay.
It's in Germany.
Okay.
Oh, Bill, do I need to worry about hackers?
Bill?
Click on that app. Wow. Built it last week.
Please leave a message for
Bill.
I wish I had
A program or
Some kind of software.
you know?
You know?
I know.
Bill, I think I just killed the printer.
When your infrastructure is ready for anything, your people are ready for anything.
Expect more from a value meal. $2.99. Get Wendy's new Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
How long is this thing?
I don't know.
Now, come on, get to the good stuff. Oh, stop. There it is. Oh, that's it. Wait, here it comes, Nice. Look at that. I could watch that all day. One more time?
Sure.
$2.99. Expect more from a value meal. $2.99. Get Wendy's new Crispy Chicken Deluxe with all white meat or the Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day. Do what tastes right.
Take away Ladanian, the Chargers got nothing.
Excuse me, Greg? Yeah. We got issues with your thesis. Frankly, I'm offended. And you don't want to offend Mr. Gates.
Has this ever been you, busted for exaggerating your football knowledge? With NFL Game Day, help is on the way.
After the Sunday night game, flip over to Rich and the Gang for the best NFL highlights show on TV. Maximize your football knowledge. Watch NFL Game Day on NFL Network.
Can't get gas for a buck.
You can't even get a cup of coffee for a buck.
But you can get $1 Million abs for a buck.
Ab Lounge is the new gold standard in abdominal exercise.
And now you can try the Ab Lounge XL system for a full 30 days with free shipping and handling on delivery.
Not for the usual $14.95, but for just $1.
Crunches are obsolete.
Ab Lounge XL's jackknife gets you up off the floor, stretching beyond 180 degrees for ultimate results.
When people ask me if the Ab Lounge works, I tell them it's amazing. It got rid of my pot belly. If it can do that, it can do anything.
Ab Lounge XL is built with club quality features and stores just about anywhere.
Call now to try Ab Lounge XL, including Ab Blasting DVD, Healthy Eating Guide, 2-week Jumpstart Program, and aerobic workout for 30 days for just $1.
We know you'll love it, but if you don't, call within the trial period, send the system back, and have no additional payments. We'll even refund your $1.
You can get this greasy hamburger for a buck.
Or you can discover the secret to $1 Million abs.
I'm Joe Gibbs, and you're watching NFL Network.
Well, welcome back to the Home Depot post-game show where the Washington Redskins did their level best to make a game out of it tonight against the New York Giants. They were down 27-7, but Tiki Barber just kept running and running and running, a career-high 234 yards. And now the Giants, most likely the 6th seed, they will play either Philadelphia or the Dallas Cowboys in the first week of the playoffs. Philadelphia will win the NFC East if they win at home against the Atlanta Falcons. And if they lose and Dallas beats the Lions as expected, then the Giants would not only be in the playoffs because they would clinch the strength of victory tiebreaker over Green Bay with the Lions loss, but the Dallas Cowboys would be in the NFC East if, again, Philadelphia loses. Tiki Barber has 1,662 yards in the 2006 season, his last, the best rushing performance by any running back exiting stage left in NFL history, surpassing Jim Brown. That is a pretty respectable neighborhood. Marshall Faulk.
I have to say it is. And Tiki, hats off to you for your performance tonight, for your career. And if this was your last game, or if the playoff game is your last game, or if you go to the Super Bowl and whatever you decide to do, hats off to you, buddy.
They need just that. We were sitting up here saying Eli has to do it. Eli has to do it. And Tiki pretty much put him on his back. Jay Philly, the field goal kicker, 2 field goals. These 2 guys would carry this team into the playoffs.
When you have a young quarterback that's up and down like Eli has been, he was, what, 12 for 26, only 101 yards tonight, but Kevin Gilbride did a nice job of using the run and mixing the run, mostly, of course, with Tiki Barber, but Brandon Jacobs got his share, too, and it was a good game plan. Eli didn't do anything to hurt this team. There were no interceptions. They had the 1 sack early in the game, but he played very efficiently, especially on 3rd downs in that first half.
Efficiently for Eli Manning is 101 passing yards, but again, let's salute Tiki Barber, who over the course of his career has gotten better and better and better. And so often we see running backs hit walls and then just basically die. We've seen it happen with so many players. Not Tiki Barber. He's gotten better.
And if you think about it, the Giants, sure, they lost their last games to the Eagles and the Cowboys, their first-round opponents potentially in the playoffs. But the 2 games that they did beat them, they did it in Philadelphia and in Dallas. They have to feel good about themselves going into the playoffs off a win in familiar territory where they've come up with wins this year. So
Sort of, kind of.
I'm trying to paint the you're going to rain on their parade?
I have to, because they almost gave it away. They almost folded in the end. They almost lost it.
But you knew they wouldn't, Dion. You knew they wouldn't.
I knew
but
they
give
would.
credit to the Redskins. They fought. They made it a heck of a game.
We can't give credit to somebody for losing. We just want to. I mean,
they were down by 20 points. Huh?
I'm upset.
And then you got a little nervous. And then Jason Campbell rallied this team back and made a heck of a game of this thing.
And going into next season, thinking about the comeback that he almost staged, that has to make you feel pretty good.
It does.
Going into next season.
I think Al Saunders and Gibbs, I believe that they feel comfortable with Jason Campbell as a starter now. But the Giants in the first half, if that team shows up to play Philadelphia or Dallas Cowboys, that Giants team that played the first half, they could win. They could beat either one of those teams. That team that played in the first half could.
Go ahead, Rick.
No, please, Steve.
Well, if you're the Washington Redskins, right, they have 1 draft choice on the first day.
First day, that's correct.
They're not going to have to use it on a quarterback, right? They can use it on whatever they want because I think they've got their guy. don't you?
I think they have their guys. I think they just underachieve. I went up to I was graceful enough to be invited up to the box of Dan Snyder.
Who was there? Drop names.
Oh, yeah.
Drop names.
I met Colin Powell, man. Did you give him a big hug? I gave him a pound. Colin, what's up, man? Colin did me like this. What's up, dog?
I love it.
No, he's shook, man. It's wonderful, but Dan takes this stuff to heart. I mean, he's one of those owners that are very involved, wants to win at all costs, and he wants to know what's wrong with this team, and they're really not that far away.
Well, unfortunately for him and the Redskin faithful, they finished the season at 5-11, a disappointment coming off a playoff campaign last year. And the Giants are still alive at 8-8, and most likely will be your 6th seed in the NFC playoff race. That's it for the Home Depot post-game show. For all of us here at FedEx Field, we say thank you, and we're getting set to throw it to our Los Angeles studios, where NFL Total Access will take it from here. The New York Giants, in a must-win contest in Washington, D.C., come up with the W. And Tiki Barber, a career night. The Giants are still alive as we wait for the rest of Week 17.
Thank you for watching the Home Depot post-game show. You can do it. We can help. The Home Depot post-game show is brought to you by the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. Microsoft, software for the people-ready business. Vonage, a better way to phone for less.
Don't forget about us, TV.
With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
You think you got game machine? All right, let's see what you got.
Come on, breathe. Come on, breathe. Pick him up, pick him up.
Live NFL. Drink Diet Pepsi.
I can do this all day, baby.
Between my two phone bills, it's probably about $60 a month.
About $150.
Probably $100 a month.
With Vonage, you get unlimited calls to anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, and all the cool features you could ever want are included. And it's just $24.99 a month.
Call 1-888-530-4VON and get your first month of Vonage service free. That's a value of $24.99. Vonage, the better way to phone for less.
Hi, honey. The holidays were great, but we're still going to need a few things, so if you could stop by Radio Shack and get some batteries, that would be just great. Okay, yeah, 1 second, sir. Also, for the iPod, we're going to need iTrip, and we're also going to need some of those really cute little speakers. Ask the salesman, he'll know which ones. Oh, and hey, for the digital camera, we're going to need an additional memory card and some photo paper. Oh, and yeah, for your wireless phone, get a charger and some headset, and what are those little things you can clip to your belt? And some...
All the stuff you need to go with all the stuff you got, only at Radio Shack.
Nice work on these grilled stuffed Fritos, Pete.
Yeah, double beef fiesta salsa, delicious.
Super delicious. And only $1.99.
Only $1.99. This from the guy who claims he dated Carmen Electra.
And dumped Carmen Electra.
A liar.
I miss you. I miss us.
Take me back.